are Montreal's backup backstops. J.C. Bergeron, Andre Racicot. Unknown goalies, but not unwanted. In the absence of Patrick Roy, both backups filled in admirably, and the Canadiens won on the road. Now, the best is back, and Roy showed no ill effects of a 9-game layoff in his return last evening against the Quebec Nordiques. The story looks much different tonight. Penguin power is no pop gun scoring machine. The Pittsburgh offense ranks up there with the NHL's best on any night. Molson NHL Tonight on TSN is brought to you by Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. Sunday night hockey from the Forum in Montreal. The Penguins and the Canadiens on TSN tonight. Hi everyone, I'm John Wells. There have been very positive signs for both these teams in recent games. After a winning Western tour, Montreal has 4 more at home and a good chance to overtake the struggling Bruins. Boston's lead in the Adams division has now dwindled to 3 games, thanks in part to back-to-back shutout wins by the Canadiens in the last week. But we don't expect a shutout here tonight because the Penguins are in town. They are a scoring machine and lead the National Hockey League in goals scored. They are also riding their hottest streak of the season, which includes right now 7 wins in the last 10 games. It is a happy story in Pittsburgh. With more on that, Gary Green with Penguins coach Bob Johnson.
Bob, your team has only lost 3 games in its last 13. What can we expect for the remainder of this season?
Well, you know, we're trying to move up that ladder, and the higher you get, the tougher it gets. Teams are all good in the league, you know. Tonight we're playing a team that got 47 points, and we've got 47 points. And with the win, we can be in second place, and in the loss, we're tied for third again. So it's tough. However, I think we're making progress, and success is gradual, and we're working on it.
You've got the best offensive team in the National Hockey League. How much can you improve this team defensively?
We're working on it, and yesterday in the third period against the New Jersey Devils was the best period of the year. We did a great job. We didn't give many scoring chances, and that was a real plus for our hockey team. And I think most of our decisions in the game were good decisions, low percentage decisions. And I liked our third period yesterday. Now, whether it can carry over tonight, I don't know. But at least we're mentally thinking about defense, and that's an improvement.
Well, you're facing one of the best defensive teams here tonight, the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, we know that. I got in last night and watched them against Quebec, and they shut the door on Quebec, and they played very well defensively. I had a chance to watch their LA game here about a week ago, and they won 3-2. So we know exactly who we're playing, and now it's the game of execution.
Bob, always exciting watching your teams. Good luck for the remainder of the season. We'll look forward to this one tonight. Should be an exciting one. Jim?
Gary, as Bob Johnson tries to convince his team to play better defensively, the shining example he might use of a team that can win without being in shootouts is the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens have lost only 1 of their last 8 games, and during that span haven't scored 3 goals a game. Here we have 2 teams with the same number of points, and they've arrived at that number in completely different fashions. 47 points apiece. Penguins have the best offensive unit in the league. The Canadiens are 15th. The Penguins are awesome on the power play. The Canadiens are awful. Top scorer on the Penguins is 2nd in the league. Denis Savard is the top scorer in Montreal. He's 56th in the league. Coffey is the highest scoring defenseman in the NHL. There are 27 NHL defensemen with more points than Matt Schneider. Yet the Canadiens have the same number of points because in their own end, they are impeccable. They are 5th in the league in goals against, while the Penguins struggle at 18th. The Canadiens don't give up as many shots, and in recent games haven't given up many goals. So here we have the classic confrontation, a team that loves to fill the net and a team that would like to board it up and play for a tie, and both styles have been very successful. Can't argue with the success of the Canadiens. They haven't given up a goal this year, John.
Well, the Canadiens will move within a point of the Boston Bruins if they win tonight. And if the Penguins prevail, they'll skip past the Philadelphia Flyers into 2nd spot in the Patrick Division. So there is a lot at stake here at the Forum tonight. We'll have it all live for you on the NHL Tonight here on TSN. The Penguins and the Canadiens coming right up.
TSN brings you the best in curling coverage. Now we're opening a new chapter. Following one of Canada's favorite winter sports, Vic Rutter hosts Canadian Curling Weekly, keeping you up to date on the latest news from the rinks across the country and around the world. Stay on top of the game with tips from Ray Turnbull and sharpen your strategy with Canada's gold medalist Linda Moore. From Hack to House, we've got the sport covered. Watch Canadian Curling Weekly right here on TSN.
You know the right place. You know the right stuff. You know what's brewed the Rocky Mountain way. You know the right beer now.
You know, my idea of boring pizza crust that tastes like cardboard. So when McCain made this new crust for deep and delicious, I wanted to tell my sister and my dad. Because McCain has a tastier, crispier crust you can really get your teeth into. It's shortcut on at our house.
McCain Deep and Delicious Pizza with a tastier, crispier crust.
After all, shouldn't pizza be fun?
TSN is ringside at the Trump Taj Mahal for 3 action-packed bouts at the Night of the Heavyweights. Round 1, the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon takes on Jose Revolta. Round 2, Tommy the Duke Morrison meets James Quick Tillis. And the headliners, Olympic gold medalist Ray Mercer goes after Francesco Damiani's WBO heavyweight title. The Night of the Heavyweights, live Friday, 10:30 Eastern, right here on TSN.
Welcome back to our TSN Control Center, everyone. I'm Jim Van Horn. It is a relatively quiet night in the NHL tonight. Only one game of anything that matters really is being played. That's going to get underway in about an hour and a half from now at the stadium in Chicago, where the Blackhawks are going to be hosting the Los Angeles Kings. Chicago, of course, first in the North, first overall, with a total of 59 points, a .670 winning percentage. They also have the best goals against average in the league this year. Ed Belfour has won 25 games for the Blackhawks this year. They've offered him a 4-year deal starting at $200,000 per. He's obviously turned that down. His goals against average is outstanding, stands at 2.42. The LA Kings, they've won 2 in a row, including a 4-2 win in Toronto last night. They stand second in the Smythe division. They are 4 points back of the Calgary Flames. Interestingly enough, they have 2 games in hand, so they have a chance to make up 2 of those 4 points tonight with a victory in Chicago. But it's going to be tough to win at the stadium in Chicago, because in 22 games, Chicago has won 15 and lost just 5. Of course, Gretzky has got the hot hand lately. He scored a big, picked up a couple of assists last night in the 4-2 win over Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens. One exhibition game was played in the NHL today. The Edmonton Oilers handed the Red Army of the Soviet Union a 4-2 loss in Super Series 91. No one at the Northlands Coliseum to watch that game, as has been the case throughout the course of this year with the tour of the Red Army and Moscow Dynamo, and is also the first loss that the Soviet Red Army has suffered during the course of their tour this time around. Let's take a look ahead to what is coming up during our intermissions. In our first period, the Superstars feature returns. This time around, Penguins defenseman Paul Coffey, who scored his 300th career goal and is now just 10 shy of Denny Potvin's record for defenseman scoring 310 goals, and Coffey should surpass that record this year. Gary Green will also join John Wells with highlights on the telestrator of that first period of play. In the second intermission, John will be talking with Stéphane Richer of the Montreal Canadiens. We will have highlights of the game between the Los Angeles Kings and the Chicago Blackhawks, and of course Jim and Gary will have their vantage point. Of course, the only game, Los Angeles and Chicago, as I mentioned, doesn't get underway until 8:30, and once the game does start, we will be updating throughout the course of our telecast as long as we are on the air. A little news for you today from the NHL. Soviet forward Vladimir Krutov has left the Vancouver Canucks and has gone to play in Switzerland. He has signed a 3-month contract to play with Zurich of the First Division in Switzerland. We are set to go from the Forum de Montreal. Here's Jim and Gary.
Visit of the Pittsburgh Penguins to Montreal, and everyone's disappointed that Mario Lemieux is not with them, except Pat Burns, who doesn't care if Mario plays in any games against the Canadiens, I'm sure. The Canadiens won the first game in Pittsburgh 5-4. Frank Pietrangelo will be the starting goaltender tonight for Pittsburgh. The 26-year-old from Niagara Falls last started in a 6-3 loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wendell Young is his backup. Tom Barrasso is the third Pittsburgh goalie who's not dressed tonight. Patrick Roy is back in goal for Montreal. He shut out the Quebec Nordiques 3-0 last night. His backup is J.C. Bergeron. Andre Racicot, a third goaltender for the Canadiens, is not dressed tonight. The Canadiens haven't given up a goal since late in the third period on New Year's Eve against Calgary. And they've started Brian Strudlin with Mike Keane and Shane Corson. As the puck is blasted in off the glass, Peter Taglianetti, checked by Mike Keane. Keane with the puck trying to center it, get to the front of the net, and he's impeded by Bob Airy. Scott Young gave the puck away to Strudlin. To the point, Desjardins shot. Pietrangelo made the save, and Paul Coffey gets the puck. Coffey and Taglianetti, the starting defenseman. And Taglianetti moves up to center and dumps the puck in. Randy Gillen, Scott Young just over from Hartford, and the Rob Brown deal, and Bob Airy are the forwards for Pittsburgh to start the game. Airy and Keane bump. The teams are changing on the fly as Scott Young sends Kevin Stevens into the Montreal zone. The centering pass, and Carbonneau's back to scoop up the puck. Guy Carbonneau out with Russ Courtnall. They get over the blue line. Courtnall to Carbonneau, back for Courtnall. And he couldn't get a backhander away. Mike McPhee is the third member of this Canadiens forward line. Here's Kevin Stevens. Recchi comes late as Stevens takes the shot on Patrick Roy. Recchi with Cullen in front of the goal. The option line is on for Pittsburgh. Cullen, Stevens, and Recchi.
And when that line is on the ice, you can expect to see Guy Carbonneau's line consistently through the course of the game.
Minute and a half in, and there's no score. Peter Svoboda is back for the puck in his own zone. Number 25 for the Canadiens, out to Guy Carbonneau. For Russ Courtnall, number 6, McPhee trailing on the play. Carbonneau with a shot just wide. McPhee reverses on the boards. Number 28 is Gord Roberts on defense with Larry Murphy, number 55. He's just over from Minnesota in a trade that brought Taglianetti as well. Jim Johnson and Chris Dahlquist went the other way in a 4-player deal. Peter Svoboda almost had his pass intercepted by Yuri Hirdina. Here's Jaromir Jagr. The 18-year-old is really starting to play well. He wears number 68. Hirdina's number 38. Phil Bourque is number 29, the third member of this Pittsburgh forward line. Andrew Castle's number 15 for the Canadiens with Stéphane Richer over the blue line. Stéphane Lebeau is the third member of the Canadiens forward unit. Richer to the corner. Lebeau behind the net. Couldn't center it for Richer. Castles tried to keep the puck in and did. Richer reaching for it, couldn't come up with it. And the puck is taken to center by Phil Bourque. Back comes LeBeau. Drop pass. And to get it himself, Richer's shot. A weak one is stopped by Pietrangelo, and he holds on. Montreal Canadiens have 27 players around, or should I say 26. Reported today that Gerald Didick has left the team, unhappy about not getting much ice time, and apparently left the building today and is not at the game tonight. Ryan Walters still hurt, so is Todd Ewan. The others are extras. And the Penguin scratches Mario Lemieux. Should be able to play against Jersey on the 22nd of January. Maybe they should take him to the All-Star game. That's a no-hitter he'd be good in. That'd be a good tune-up for him, wouldn't it?
It would be a great one, Jim. Bob Johnson said that Lemieux is going to go full out this Wednesday at practice, and he's looking forward to that. But he would also like to take this team with Mario Lemieux and go into about a 3-week training camp, he said, just to start all over again. Johnson's also having fun just thinking about some line combination. Getting Mario Lemieux back in the lineup would be a spice of life for any coach.
It's amazing that this is the highest scoring team in the league without Mario Lemieux.
It's also scary to other teams in the Patrick division.
Brent Gilchrist checked on the boards. Joe Mullen tried to come up with the puck and couldn't. Denny Savard to Tom Chorsky, and out come the Canadiens. Gilchrist, Savard, and Chorsky. Chorsky with the puck. Can't get the shot away. Troy Loney cleared the puck to Joe Mullen, and he bumped it out to center, where Taglianetti dumps it in for Pittsburgh. Crazy bounce to the front of the net. Matt Schneider's back from Montreal. 3.5 minutes into the first period. No score, Montreal and Pittsburgh. Derek Desjardins is back for the puck in his own zone. And it's an icing call against Pittsburgh. You're watching Molson's NHL Tonight from the Forum in Montreal.
East meets West goes Far East. College All-Stars strut their stuff in Yokohama at the 1991 Japan Bowl. TSN brings you the action live from Japan. Saturday, 10 Eastern, it's the Japan Bowl on TSN. Catch the fire on Molson's the NHL Tonight. The Jets will have to play it physical as they touch down in the Garden to battle the Bruins. It's fire on ice. Boston and Winnipeg live Monday night, 7:30 Eastern. The NHL Tonight on TSN.
Teams are even in points. Sit in the middle of the pack, 8th and 9th in the overall standings. The Canadiens 8th, Pittsburgh 9th, because Pittsburgh's played more games. Gillen and Skrudland on the faceoff. And Randy Gillen won the draw. Scott Young with a pass to Gillen, dumped in by Bob Airy. Shane Corson out of his own zone to Brian Skrudland. Scott Young coming back, made the play to center. Jean-Jacques Daigneault, number 48 for Montreal. His pass was intercepted. Paul Stanton, defenseman out of the University of Wisconsin, dumps the puck in. Eric Desjardins is back. Daigneault's back. There's an icing call against Pittsburgh. 4 minutes and 8 seconds in.
Lots of bodies around for the Montreal Canadiens. J.J. Daigneault, who has been in and out of the lineup, has played very well as of late, Jim. But Pat Burns has got some tough decisions. And Serge Savard, when Serge Savard gets back from the general manager's meetings in Phoenix, I don't think anything is going to happen until he does get back. Who's going to be sent to Fredericton?
And what will they do about the Gerald Diddick situation?
Well, Diddick, as we know, has played rather poorly for the Montreal Canadiens this year, so it's not a surprise that Burns isn't happy with him and Diddick not happy with the team.
Larry Murphy dumps the puck in for Pittsburgh. Off the boards, Waugh played it for Pitis Svoboda. Russ Courtnall skates through center. The pass to Carbonneau. He wasn't expecting it and didn't come up with it. Here's Svoboda with lots of room. Blasts the shot. Didn't get it away quick enough. Recchi got to him and tipped the shot. Carbonneau, centering pass for Courtnall, too far for him, and Kevin Stevens takes it away. The option line against Carbonneau's checking line. The matchup for the night that Pat Burns wants at any rate. Players like Carbonneau really must like a game like this where they're challenged by playing against a top offensive unit.
Sure, Sakic last night, Jim, and Cullen tonight. The Selke Award winner's real dream is to play against the top guys too, but I think he'd also like to get some points. He's only had 1 point in the last 10 games.
Gary Herdina with a pass for Phil Bourque. And the puck drifts all the way down the ice. Matthew Schneider's the first man back. Richer kicked the puck up. Now he gets control. 3-on-2. The Canadiens through center. Richer holds up. Tried to feed the front of the net. And Phil Bourque comes up with a puck. Back come the Penguins. Coffey jumps up into the play. Pass ahead to Herdina. His sharp angle shot is a weak one wide. Taglianetti moves in to keep the puck in. In behind the net, Herdina overskated it. Schneider gave it away to Taglianetti. He fanned on the shot.
Bob Johnson won't be too upset about that, though. All he wants Taglianetti to do is to stay back for Paul Coffey. He will play regularly as he has with Coffey. He will be the defensive defenseman. Paul Coffey has got clear ice to skate.
Matthew Schneider dumps the puck in for Montreal. Past the 6-minute mark, no score. Richer in behind the goal, the centering pass for Castles, and it was up in the air and hit him. Now Taglianetti. Jaromir Jagr into the middle to Yuri Herdina. He feeds Jagr number 68. And he's checked as he ran into a crowd. His mates on a line change. Denis Savard comes back from Montreal. Gilchrist goes for the net. The pass to Desjardins. He shoots off the side of the goal. Shorsky to Gilchrist. Savard in behind the net as well. Here's Savard. Lost the puck. Paul Stanton moves it out to center. J.J. Daigneault Almost gave it away to Barry Peterson. Peterson's out with Troy Loney and Joe Mullen on the Penguin forward unit against Savard, Gilchrist, and Torski of the Canadiens.
Those were Savard's wingers last night as well. But Pat Burns says that he has used everyone except Patrick Waugh with Dennis Savard so far this year. And that might even be an option some night when Patrick Waugh doesn't play.
Here's Skrudland over the blue line. Torski at the end of a shift. A weak shot was blocked, and out comes Bob Airy. Randy Gillen. Both teams completing line changes. Airy overskated the puck, and Shane Corson picks it up. To Skrudland. Back pass to Corson. Scott Young's all over him. And down went Corson. Referee Andy Van Helleman made no call. Bob Airy tripped over the line at center ice. Scott Young. Gillen goes for the net. The centering pass, and that went through the crease. Back come the Canadiens. Corson, number 27. Skrudland's coming late. So it's Svoboda with a shot, and Peter Angelo hangs on with Skrudland right in his face. 11:52 to play in the first. No score.
The thrills and excitement of NBA basketball are on TSN. Tension from division rivals and top teams on television's best basketball schedule keep you at the hoop. TSN takes you courtside for action only the NBA provides. The Pistons take their show on the road as they look for some southern hospitality in Charlotte. But the Hornets have something else in mind. Charlotte hosts Detroit Tuesday night, 8 Eastern. It's the NBA on TSN.
As Frank Pietrangelo held on to the puck, Gord Roberts was ushered to the penalty box for holding at 8:08. The Canadiens go to the power play, and, well, their power play has not been very good. They did score twice against Quebec with a man advantage last night.
2 big power play goals, and it's because on the power play last night, the Montreal Canadiens were keeping it simple and going for the net.
Bob Johnson's penalty killing unit in the middle of the pack at 11th. Best power play in the league belongs to Calgary, and the worst to Detroit. Montreal's out of the cellar in power play rankings. Just barely, though.
So we'll see if the Canadiens continue to do the same as they did last night. Have their defensemen just put that puck on net with at least 2 men driving for it.
Svoboda and Desjardins to the point men. Corson, Keane, and Skrudland up front. And Desjardins chases the puck into his own zone. Barry Peterson chased him, but then turned off for the bench. 30 seconds into the penalty. Svoboda ahead for Keane. Larry Murphy back. Cleared the puck. Joe Mullen got it out to center. Mullen and Recchi with Taglianetti and Murphy, the penalty killers. Denny Savard's on the ice now with Richer. Corson's still out there. Now Corson's headed to the bench. Here's Mullen. Short-handed. The drop pass to Recchi. Tried to feed Mullen, and that was knocked down. Now a minute to go in the penalty. Matt Schneider blasts the puck in. Richard's the first man on it. Schneider can't keep the puck into the blue line. And Mullen rags it. Daniel's out with Schneider as the pointman of the power play. Denny Savard. Andrew Castles with him. Drop pass to Daniel for Castles. Richer takes the shot. Stopped by Pietrangelo. Savard to Richer. Daniel's shot. Score!
Boy, this power play's hot. There's the shot from the point. It wasn't tipped by a Canadiens player. However, it may have been tipped by Bob Airy. When it goes back to the point to Daigneault, did it change direction? It appeared from the first angle that it may have.
First of the season, scored by number 48, Jean-Jacques Daigneault.
For an offensive defenseman, it's been a long time coming, that first goal of the season. Daigneault on the power play at 9:50, and the Canadiens have a 1-0 lead at home. Riche and Savard get assists. There's another shot on Peter Angelo, this time from Carbonell, and that's blocked. Courtnall to McPhee. He shoots. Peter Angelo the save. And Coffey's right on the puck. Russ Courtnall now. Lost the puck to Cullen. John Cullen. Coffey moves up on the play, and he dumps it in on Patrick Roy. Svoboda. Guy Carbonneau now. Mike McPhee. Drop pass for Carbonneau. Svoboda's moving up. Courtnall in front of the net. His weak shot into the glove of Frank Pietrangelo, and he holds on. 9:19 to play in the first period. Daigneault from Riche and Savard, the scoring play on Molson's NHL Tonight.
Dodge Shadow and Plymouth Sundance. A special feeling of comfort and confidence with child-proof door locks and an optional driver's side airbag. The longest powertrain warranty and 47 standard features. Dodge Shadow and Plymouth Sundance. Because as long as you have precious cargo to carry, we'll keep building them this way. Chrysler. All you have to do is drive one.
Happy days for both of these coaches right now. Pat Burns' team has only lost one of their last 8 games. Bob Johnson's team have only lost 3 of their last 13 games. Mind you, 9 of those 13 games were at home. But both clubs looking good going into the latter part of the season.
Don't you think each of those coaches, as Desjardins takes a shot, stopped by Pietrangelo. Recchi comes up with a puck. Are envious of the qualities the other team has. Pat Burns would love to have some scoring, and Bob Johnson would love to have the defensive forwards and the defensive prowess of the Canadiens. Here's Shane Corson, takes the shot, stopped by Pietrangelo. And the puck drifted wide of the net, and there'll be a penalty to Gordon Roberts again as Mike Keane was taken down to the side of the goal.
Keane almost shoveled that puck in as he put on the brakes when Gordy Roberts was hauling him down.
They'll be back with the Canadiens power play on Molson's NHL Tonight.
Are they tough enough? The future stars of professional hockey make their mark today on TSN. CHL hockey, hard-hitting, wide-open hockey. Everything is on the line, and every game counts on draft day. If you want to be a part of some great beginnings, join us Wednesday night as the Cornwall Royals battle the Belleville Bulls. CHL hockey on TSN, Real TV.
Shane Corson got a chance. Keane was hauled down by Roberts, and the Canadiens will get a chance on the power play again.
Corson had his head up. He knew where he wanted to put it, and you could see that Keane just went barreling in, and he had a good chance to put that puck in as it rebounded off of Pietrangelo, but Gordy Roberts hauled him down.
So this awesome power play goes to work. 3 goals in the last period and a half. Eric Desjardins centering. Corson's all alone, and he couldn't put the puck in. Time to autograph it before he shot it. Corson, Savard, Riche. Riche's in after the puck. To the point, Peter Svoboda. Corson screens in front. Desjardins couldn't pull the trigger.
Desjardins has had trouble handling the puck. Back in the point tonight in the power play.
Charlie Zalapski, number 33. Killing the penalty. So is Randy Gillen, who leaves the puck behind the Canadiens' net. 40 seconds gone in the penalty. Here's Denny Savard through center. Holds up and gave the puck away. Phil Bourque with Schneider bearing down on him. Bourque cuts for the net. Schneider played the man. In front. They score! Scott Young has scored a shorthanded goal to tie this up 1-1.
So much for the power on the power play. Dennis Savard had tried to do it all himself, carrying the puck into the zone. There had been a turnover in play. And watch, there had been more than just a turnover in play. Schneider gets out-muscled. And that's what ends up being the result.
But Schneider did his job. He took his man out of the play and didn't get him a shot on goal. Nobody picked up Young.
Pittsburgh's goal is 9th of the season.
There were 4 other guys.
But Schneider should have been able to get back there and wheel that puck out when he knew that he had a man on him that quickly. But you're right. Someone should have had Young. No question about that.
Here they come again and score! LeBeau!
Well, okay, so they got the power back now in the power play. Didn't take long either, did it? Nice little pass over to LeBeau. Pietrangelo went down, committed himself very early, and LeBeau was able to make the right decision with perfect timing.
So 2 power play goals and shorthanded goal, and it's 2-1 Montreal.
Good pass to LeBeau, though, by Chorsky, and the timing was perfect.
Number 14 for Stéphane LeBeau. 2-1 Montreal. And LeBeau stays out on the ice with Castles and Chorsky. Chorsky in front, backhanded, just wide. Chorsky and Daigneault draw assists on the goal at 12-14. Here's LeBeau again with a blast. Pietrangelo makes the save. Yager. Shot by Stevens was stopped by Patrick Roy. Kevin Stevens in behind the goal. Here's Yager, number 68. Tried to wrap it around. Loose in the crease and scooped wide of the goal by Kevin Stevens.
Boy, Yager's got great hands.
Larry Murphy to the front of the net. Turned back by Lyle Odeline, number 24. Russ Courtnall. All on his own. His mates are on a line change. LeBeau's goal from Daigneault and Chorsky came 20 seconds after Young's shorthanded goal. Gordie Roberts chases the puck back in his own zone for Pittsburgh. Up to Stevens, drops it off for John Cullen, rink wide to Mark Recchi. Off the skate to Russ Courtnall. Carbonneau goes for the net. Desjardins trailing. He shoots and scores!
Who's got the big offensive team here tonight? We were expecting to see the Pittsburgh Penguins filling the net early in this first period. Russ Courtnall with a great little pass right back to Desjardins, who has moved up nicely with the play. Perfect timing. And he wound up and just blistered that shot right by Pietrangelo.
6th of the year for Eric Desjardins. At 13:57, and it's 3-1 Montreal. Might we get a shootout tonight?
Sure leaning that way.
Canadiens goal is 6th of the season, scored by number 28, Eric Desjardins.
Just under 6 minutes to go in the first period, and it's 3-1 Montreal.
Assisted by number 6, Russ Courtnall.
And the puck is out of play. Courtnall gets the only assist on Desjardins' goal at 13:57. The goal by Pittsburgh, by the way, is the first of the new year scored against Montreal. And the Canadian shutout streak is snapped at 134 minutes.
Well, number 7, Mullen, has done his job for Bob Johnson, as was expected, coming across from Calgary to Pittsburgh. But number 77, Paul Coffey, had a big night last night, as he became only the 2nd defenseman in NHL history to score 300 goals. There's the goal. Bob Johnson said, by the way, Jim, that he was glad that Coffey got that last night because he was afraid that he might be looking to be so hungry for it tonight that it would take away from a game here against the Montreal Canadiens that Johnson knew would be a tough one. He was right, too.
Coffey and Potvin, the only defenseman to score 300 goals. You know, Bobby Orr got 270, 30 behind them, behind Coffey.
Potvin has 310. That's what he finished up with. Then Coffey thought that he could get 11 more this season.
Might get it tonight. Charlie Zalapski. Mark Recchi. Paul Stanton. Hitting wide to Stevens. Blasts one off the left wing. Matt Schneider got a piece of it and deflected the puck into the stands.
Well, there was a lot of pressure on Matthew Schneider this past summer when Chris Chelios was traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. Schneider, in his first full season with the Montreal Canadiens, had the media expecting him to take right over for Chelios, and what an unfair position for any young man to be placed in.
He's only 21, and he might yet be the offensive defenseman that the Canadiens really lack. Schneider dumped the puck in and went to the bench on a line change. Pat Burns has the luxury of a couple of good checking lines, and now with Cullen's line on the ice, he's opted to go with Strudlin's unit against him, where Carbonos has played against him earlier in the game.
This is one of Pat Burns' favorite lines, if not his most favorite line. They've really been playing well this last couple of weeks.
Here's Paul Coffey looking around. Tried to center it, hit a skate. Recchi, Cullen, Stevens, and Coffey all on the ice at the same time. What a great offensive unit Bob Johnson has out now. Lyle Odeline shot. A rebound let off by Frank Pietrangelo. Stevens can't come out against Denny Savard. Mike Keane to Savard. He shoots. Nice save by Pietrangelo. Here's Coffey to Mark Recchi, and he dumps the puck in with 4 minutes to play in the first period. 3-1 Montreal. Jean-Jacques Daigneault. Rink wide for Savard. He shoots. Deflected into the stands by Gord Roberts. Our next action on TSN is tomorrow night from the Boston Garden. A rematch between the Jets and the Bruins on the 28th of December. The Jets won 6-0. And Mike Milbury was really steamed about that outing. They want a little revenge tomorrow.
You can bet on that. Pat Burns' team this year was supposed to be in a rebuilding year, but, well, even though they don't like to call it that in Montreal, but they are even with last year's pace as of last night's game.
Had a great road trip. Last-minute win in Los Angeles. Scored big and won in Vancouver. Lost big in Calgary, but shut out the Oilers.
7-2, they lost to the Flames on New Year's Eve.
Penguins won the draw. 18-year-old Jaromir Jagr to Phil Bourque. Cuts for the goal. Scores! Fifth goal of the game, and the Penguins are within one.
What is it? It seems that every time we have Pittsburgh on this network, Phil Bourque plays very well. Bourque took that pass from Jagr and then just streaked in on the left wing side. It wasn't from a great angle that he shot this puck, but somehow he found the room on the glove side, low, right along the ice on Patrick Waugh.
Number 13 for Phil. Got a pass from Jagr. And it's 3-2 Montreal. Carbono got the puck away from Roberts. Larry Murphy back in his own zone. Roberts has had a tough first period. He's got a little tougher. Montreal.
Freddie Roberts lost the battle for the puck along the boards. And that just set up a great opportunity for Carbo to get the pass, and Carbono then, as we talked about earlier, with only 1 point in the last 10 games, draws a little satisfaction.
13 seconds after Bourque's goal, the Canadiens answer with Carbono's 7th. Here they come again. Portnoy, McPhee, stopped by Pietrangelo.
Did you check the moon out tonight? Got to be tipped or something.
Assisted by number 68.
put that puck in the net. He and Courtnall combining for another good offensive opportunity by the Montreal Canadiens. Peter Angelo's got to be wondering what is going on. There were 4 Pittsburgh Penguin players that were back, none of them back soon enough, though, to be able to take that chance away from McPhee.
Well, unusual as it is at the Montreal Forum, we've got a shootout, and it's 4-2 for the Canadiens. Cork from Yager and Coffey at 16-18, and Carbonneau from Courtnall at 16-31. Here's Courtnall on the right wing against Zarley Zalapski. Drop pass to McPhee, poked away by Paul Stanton. Carbonneau behind the net in front. Courtnall shoots it. Another chance for McPhee. He stopped. Peter Angelo is left all on his own. McPhee checked by Mullen. McPhee wins the battle. Courtnall comes over to help out. Troy Loney scoops the puck down the ice so the Penguins can change. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first period. 4-2 Montreal. Odeline against Scott Young. Young gets the puck, gets by Odeline, can't get by Mike Keane. Airy in to throw a hit at Lyle Odeline. They go to the front of the net. Airy goes down trying to shoot. There'll be a penalty to Lyle Odeline. Andy Van Hellemond will send Lyle Odeline off. A tripping call and the Penguins power play goes to work.
And when the Pittsburgh Penguins power play goes to work in a game like this, you can expect to see 5 men heading for that net. They'll try to catch up pretty early. There you can see that Bob Airy was dumped to the ice by Odeline. And in a game like this, Russ Courtnall will just thrive on it because he will just take up all of that open ice and fly tonight.
Courtnall has a couple of assists in the game.
And believe me, with the amount of open ice tonight created by the giveaways that we've seen, Russ Courtnall could have a real heyday.
Odeline for tripping at 17:58, and the Penguins power play ranked 3rd in the league goes to work. Kevin Stevens leads it with 9 power play goals. Montreal's penalty killing in the middle of the pack, 8th in the league. Murphy to Coffey in front of the net off the skate of Stevens. Larry Murphy plays the puck over to Mark Recchi. 2 Penguins in front. Murphy kicks the puck up over to Paul Coffey. Centering pass into a crowd. Canadians can't clear it. Dropping down on the puck was Donald Dufresne. And he got the whistle.
Well, the Penguins only had 4 men in deep around Patrick Waugh. Larry Murphy actually stayed back. Dufresne was doing lots of pushing and shoving, but that may have been more of a hindrance to Patrick Waugh because he couldn't see where that puck was.
I think the Canadians got lucky. Andy Van Hellemond lost the puck, whistled it, and Dufresne had covered it up in the crease.
The Canadian penalty killers know right now that with Coffey and Murphy on the ice, back at the point, that if that puck does come out into the slot, one or both of them will be heading for it.
Murphy. Coffey keeps the play onside. In for Stevens. Knocked down by the Canadians' Guy Carbonneau. 1.5 minutes to go in the penalty. And it will expire 2 seconds before the end of the first period. Guy Carbonneau. A long shot on Frank Pietrangelo. And he leaves the puck for Larry Murphy. Now 1:10 to go. In the penalty to Lyle Odeline. Stevens to Joe Mullen. Recchi behind the net. Dufresne cleared the puck, not out. Larry Murphy. Paul Coffey's wide open. Stevens in front. Couldn't control the puck. Russ Courtnall shot it down the ice.
With Murphy and Coffey on the ice together on the point, you've got 2 great passers back on the blue line.
Coffey passed the puck, but he gave it away that time to Russ Courtnall. And Murphy retreats. Jaromir Jagr. 1/2 minute to go in the penalty. Cullen makes a nice move, shoots it. blocked by Matt Schneider, and the puck is cleared down the ice by Brent Gilchrist. What a move by Cullen.
He has got great mobility, and the agility he just showed was incredible.
Coffey couldn't keep the puck in. In the last 10 seconds of the first period, penalty will expire 2 seconds later. The period will end, and it has come to an end. So the high-scoring Penguins are trailing by 2. The team with the awful power play has scored twice on it, and the great power play looked awful. What a weird game, John.
Definitely a high-scoring first period in Montreal tonight, and the Canadiens are flying, leading 4-2. Coming up in our first intermission, we'll continue with our Superstar Series. Paul Coffey is the subject of our attention tonight. As well, Gary Green with the highlights of the first at the Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens in front, 4-2 on Pittsburgh.
Could have been the whiskey, might have been the gin. Tell me, oh, my, wasn't that a
Ladies and gentlemen, the Irish Rovers.
She's my joy and my pride, and she's 20 meters wide, and they call her the ship that funny lady. Johnny, get up from the fire, get up and give me your medicine. Can't you see it's Mick McGuire and he's holding your sister kid?
They've delighted audiences worldwide with their musical tales, and now you can get the Irish Rovers' greatest hits, a silver anniversary collection.
What would you do if you married a soldier? How would you do with the pull of the gun?
And me heart is captivated by the flower of sweet Strabane.
No Irish Rover collection is complete without this international blockbuster hit.
You'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees.
The Irish Rovers' greatest hits, 25 years of musical magic on 2 LPs or 2 cassettes, $14.99, 1 compact disc, $19.99. Here's how to order. To save COD charges, use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-453-2900 or send check or money order for $14.99 for LPs or cassettes or $19.99 for 1 compact disc plus $4 shipping and handling to Irish Rovers, P.O. Box 600, Station R, Toronto, Ontario, M4G 4E1. That's 1-800-453-2900.
Tuesday, visit the remoteness and ruggedness of Labrador with the tallow to fly fish for big speckled trout on Canadian sport fishing. Then it's live NBA action as the Detroit Pistons take on the Charlotte Hornets from the Coliseum. Stay on top of the game with tips from Ray Turnbull, plus features and highlights from across the country on Canadian Curling Weekly. Trophy speckled trout from Labrador, the Pistons and the Hornets, and Canadian Curling Weekly, Tuesday on TSN.
Welcome back to Molson NHL Tonight. There's your score. Montreal scoring in bunches tonight, leading the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 4-2 through 20 minutes of play. With his assist tonight on the second Pittsburgh goal, Paul Coffey now moves 2 points ahead of Al McGuinness in the scoring race for defenseman this season. He is probably one of the greatest goal scorers in the league. He only trails Denny Potvin by 10 in the race for career goals. Potvin has 310. Paul Coffey is the subject of our Superstar Series tonight from Montreal.
Paul Coffey, defenseman, Pittsburgh Penguins. Paul Coffey, defenseman, Edmonton Oilers. 2 different images, 2 different eras, 2 different people.
I come out of Kitchener my last year of junior, and I was a skater and a passer, but I don't think anywhere near the way I am now. I give a lot of credit to the Oilers style. I mean, Glenn Sader wanted me to play that style of game. The personnel that we had on that hockey club with Wayne and Mark Messier and Anderson and Curry, I mean, our whole game was flow. And I remember games that if I wasn't skating or wasn't moving the puck, that, you know, it was the players that would get on you. I know Wayne used to tell me when I wasn't skating that I was playing tabletop hockey out there and get my rear end in gear and start moving, so it helped me a lot.
All athletes get help at different times in their careers. Ever wonder how Paul Coffey became such a great skater? Well, he had supports and influence from a familiar source.
My parents are very, very supportive. I remember playing at Sault Ste. Marie. They used to follow me around and watch all the games. And, you know, I've been asked the question in the past about my skating style and how I developed a long stride and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I just remember one thing my father used to always say to me when I used to go and skate at the rinks in the schoolyard. He used to always say, if you don't come home with sore groins and you're not working hard enough out there, and whether that meant to lengthen my stride at a young age, I don't know, but I think thinking back of any of the influence he had, it was probably that.
How has Paul Coffey changed over the last 11 years in the NHL?
I think, if anything, right now I'm a little bit more at ease with myself, with what my job is on the ice, with what I've accomplished in the past, and what hopefully I can continue to do. I think that anytime you're a professional athlete, you are going to get criticized. Everybody is not your fan out there. There's going to be people that say bad things about you. And I think in the past, that really irked me and got me down. I think now I'm more confident in myself, as I just mentioned earlier, more at ease, and it doesn't bother me as much as it used to.
Confidence. At ease. If that sounds like an athlete at the top of his game, it is. Paul Coffey has superstar stats and superstar bucks.
What does the money mean to you at this stage of your career?
I finally got a chance to take care of my family. I think that it's important to be able to give your family stuff that they've never had before, your family and friends, and that means a lot to me. And the motivation part of it, the money really doesn't come into it. I've had a chance to play 11 years. I know that I've been given a God-given talent, and there's one thing I don't want to do is let the money or something like that go to my head. I want to produce game in and game out and have continued good years in the past. And if anything, the money definitely motivates me. I don't want people to say that it's gone to my head and I'm starting to play bad. I want to continue to play well.
When we come back, part 2 of our story on Paul Coffey as our Superstar Series continues on Molson NHL Tonight on TSN.
TSN presents the world's ultimate driving machine. You'll see coverage of the U.S. Open, British Open, PGA Championship, and year-long excitement from the PGA Tour. There's also the precision of the Lady Linksters and fun from tee to green with those swinging seniors. The PGA's best. Get back to it as the 91 golf season tees off in sunny Tucson, Arizona. The Tucson Open, only on TSN.
Hey, you can spot the danger in the country and in the city. Can you spot the dangerous parts? They can hurt you. Hurt you. Can you spot the dangerous places in the summer and in the icy winter? Just ask Murray and he will tell you. Racing!
I'm telling you, she's got a man. No. Then why the new clothes? Well, did you see her in that dress? Gorgeous. Yeah. She gave up smoking. She's exercising. She watches everything she eats. And she looks like $1 million. You're right. She's got a man. Mm-hmm.
The Special K breakfast. Only 230 calories and low in fat.
So who is it? Oh, probably some fabulous blonde guy.
Special K and a balanced diet. Because you've got your own reasons for looking good.
This is no toboggan ride. The world's best bobsled teams hurtled on an icy track at speeds of over 100 kilometers an hour. TSN heats up your Saturday night with Winter Speed 91. World bobsled competition from Calgary. Watch it Saturday, 9 Eastern. Real action on TSN.
To Brown, now look at Coffey go, he's at the line, beautiful move, shot, rebound, they score!
He has the one thing you can't teach anybody or coach anybody.
And now Coffey starts away for the Penguins, a great skater.
He comes out of nowhere, skating probably faster than anybody in the league.
Paul Coffey wheeling into the Vancouver zone.
He gives the Pittsburgh Penguins an advantage of scoring goals.
Cutting it on goal, center scores! What a rush by Coffey!
Sometimes he does the unpredictable out there, but I think, you know, in the same breath, I can say that's what makes him so effective is You know, the other team doesn't expect him to do a certain thing out there, and you know, before you know it, he's up the ice and he's created a good scoring opportunity.
From the time he came into the league, he was a great offensive threat. Can skate, can shoot. Again, if Pittsburgh is going to do anything at all with Mario being hurt, or even with Mario back in the lineup, Paul Coffey has to play at the top of his game.
Behind the net it goes to Steven, centers a man in front. Coffey! He shoots and scores! Paul Coffey gives the Penguins the lead again.
I'm always going to be known as an offensive defenseman. I think anytime you, automatically, if you've got fairly good hands, you've got a good shot, you can skate, you're an offensive defenseman, whether you stay back or not. I mean, you get a guy like Rod Langley, who is a defensive defenseman and does it superbly and has for years. He has a little different skating style than mine, so he's automatically a defensive defenseman. And, you know, I'm always going to be an offensive defenseman, whether a couple of years there I was called all around, but now I'm back to offensive defenseman.
Hockey historians may debate Paul Coffey's place amongst the game's great defensemen, but Coffey himself has a very simple description.
Winning the Stanley Cups and the Norris trophies and stuff like that is an honor for myself to be associated with great teams like the Oilers and to win Norris trophies like the Potvins, the Robinson, the Oilers, and guys like that. But I just would like to be remembered as a player that was consistent, you know, came to play every night and just played hard and had fun and enjoyed the game.
Paul Coffey is only the second defenseman in NHL history to score 300 goals. Denny Potvin has 310. That record likely will fall this season. Coming up, highlights from the first period of play from the Forum in Montreal. John Wells and Gary Green standing by. The Canadiens leading the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-2 after 1.
Set, fight.
Why does one person excel above all others? Is it motivation, raw talent, desire? Is it personal satisfaction, intelligence, luck? There's no magic formula, and there's really no secret. But there is Soloflex. Because Soloflex is designed and engineered with one thing in mind, your body's needs. And we've created the finest, most complete, and simplest system to attain those needs. With Soloflex, the reward is yours. For a free brochure, call anytime.
I know something about McCain's Super Fries that you don't know. Yeah, what? They're low in Saturday fat. I know something you don't know, McCain's Super Fries. Yeah, what's that? The Crystal Freeze. I know something about McCain's Super Fries that neither of you know. What's that? I just ate the last one.
Oven-baked McCain's Super Fries. Low in saturated fats, cholesterol-free, and loaded with taste.
6 goals in the first period in Montreal. The Canadiens got 4. That's a bit of a surprise. That means lots of highlights for Gary Green to choose from. The Montreal power play clicked a couple of times, Gary, but not without its problems.
John, I thought they were going to be great on this power play. All of a sudden, it all fell apart. But let's go to the video right now and take a look. Dennis Savard is behind the net, and he's going to do his customary Dennis Savard style of let's go up the ice and carry it all alone. Let it go. Dennis Savard, he's got lots of open ice here. Now start counting the Pittsburgh Penguins. We've got 4 men to Dennis Savard, and that's pretty much all that we've got right now. Stop it there again. You know what Dennis Savard's going to do, don't you? Yeah, he's going to go right over the blue line. He's going to throw snow, put on the brakes, and then look to pass it. Now stop it right here. This is going to be perfect now for Richer. All Savard has to do is give Richer a little bit of a pass here, and Richer's ready to hammer it. But instead, stop it there. You see Phil Bourque. There he goes. He's been anticipating this all the time. You saw Peter Svoboda back there. He was caught off ice. Now you've got Matthew Schneider and Phil Bourque on a one-on-one. Now Schneider is going to just to try to play the body here. Phil Bourque has got the puck to the outside side. And now he's going to lose his balance, so stop it there. Now Peter Svoboda is looking at the puck. Here is Scott Young moving up on the play. Dennis Savard is coasting back. Let's see what happens. Peter Sabota doesn't know that Scott Young's there, and Dennis Savard does, but can't get to him in time. So the great power play for the Montreal Canadiens all of a sudden fell apart, and there's a few bodies that one could blame. And they came right back with one, John.
Well, 2 power play goals this night and 2 the other night. The Montreal power play is slightly more effective. The Canadiens in front of the Pittsburgh Penguins. It is 4-2 after 1 at the Forum in Montreal. This is the NHL Tonight on TSN.
It is a celebration of excellence. 25 years of NFL Super Bowl memories. And to honor the silver anniversary, a special commemorative edition art print. Super Tickets. 25 original Super Bowl tickets and final scores to this larger-than-life event. Imagine this beautiful collector's edition print in your home or office. Super Tickets, a unique conversation piece. And for just $24.95, it's your ticket to every Super Bowl game for under $1. Order yours now or for someone you love. This is a limited-time offer. Toronto, call 481-2585. Ontario, 1-800-668-1470. For Canada, 1-800-668-1503. Or send $24.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Super Tickets, Box 3351, Station D, Willowdale, Ontario. M2R 3G6.
A 6-goal first period in Montreal. Let's run through them quickly for you. Savard and Richer setting up J.J. Daigneault's first of the season on a power play at 9:50. At 11:54, the Penguins got even as Bourque set up Scott Young's 9th of the season. But 20 seconds after that, J.J. Daigneault and Brian Skrudland set up Stephen LeBeau's 14th of the year. And Courtnall and Eric Desjardins combined for another Canadiens goal at 13:57. After that, it was Phil Bourque for Pittsburgh from Coffey and Yager. And then at 16:31, Guy Carbonneau's 16th of the year from Russ Courtnall. The shots on goal in the first period favored the Montreal Canadiens as well as the score, 20-6 Montreal. And we wonder if we can expect more of the same in the second, Jim.
Most probably. 20 shots on goal, 24 last night against the Quebec Nordiques in the first period for the Montreal Canadiens. And his offensive machine is going to work again. Here's Carbonneau, shoots and scores!
Took a long time.
11 seconds. And I think there'll be a goaltender change. I was a little surprised Peter Angelo started the second period for Bob Johnson, and Wendell Young is up loosening up now.
Well, I was a little surprised that Montreal took so long to get out of the gate here when the puck was dropped. All they did was simply get that puck into the zone right away. Courtnall and Carbonneau again. And Carbonneau, who has had a tough time coming into tonight putting the puck in the net, is having an easy time of it tonight. He goes glove side. Peter Angelo's timing was terrible.
The checking line against the option line, and the checking line is scoring the goal. Carbonneau's got his 2nd of the night, his 8th of the season. Courtnall has his 3rd assist. And that'll be all for Frank Pietrangelo. He's given up 5. The Canadiens lead 5-2. Tom Barrasso, it's the night off. And Wendell Young is the backup tonight and coming into play.
I'm sure he's looking forward to it. He knows that his job right now is to make a couple of key stops right away. Montreal, no doubt, will try to get some early, quick shots on him. And what Bob Johnson is hoping is that Wendell Young will come up with some big saves to give his team a little bit of a turnaround.
27-year-old Wendell Young from Halifax. Into the goal now. Former Vancouver farmhand. Now Pittsburgh Penguin, and now in goal, trailing 5-2. Darley Zalapsky with a long pass for Jaromir Jagr. And back after the puck is J.J. Daigneault. He stumbled to touch the puck, and icing is called against Pittsburgh.
Well, the word has it here in Montreal that Brian Skrudland is going to be going to the All-Star team.
As
the All-Star
Canadiens
game.
representative.
Yep. And it's a good choice if that does, in fact, happen.
Don't you think it seems automatic that Denny Savard should be in the game because it's in Chicago?
Who would have thought so, but we're not the coaches, are we?
Mike Milbury fills out the Wales Conference team. John Muckler, the Campbells. Yuri Hrdina came over from Calgary for Jim Kite. Skrudlin had the puck swept away by Yager. Yager playing with Hrdina and Phil Bourque. Bourque's been in on both Pittsburgh goals. Scored one, set up the other. Peter Svoboda chased back in his own zone. His long pass just went out to center. Larry Murphy to Zarli Zalatsky. Phil Bourque with number 29 has the lowest number on the ice for the Penguins right now. 38, 68, 77, 55. Hike.
The Steelers.
Svoboda. Dumped the puck in. Shane Corson. In after Hrdina. Scott Young, number 34. Lost the puck to Stéphane Richer. Richer got away from Young. Corson trying to center. In behind the net. And Phil Bourque gets back for the puck. Rink wide to Scott Young. Larry Murphy moved up as the puck was flipped in on Patrick Roy. Just over 2 minutes into period number 2. Canadiens 5 and Pittsburgh 2. Peter Taglianetti. Up to Bob Airy on the right wing. He's got Gillen in front of the goal. In behind the net. Gillen trying to center. Coffey has moved up. His centering pass hit the side of the net. And the puck was cleared by Matt Schneider down the ice.
You can see when Coffey went for the net that Peter Taglianetti was doing his job back at the blue line.
Icing call against Montreal. It's been almost 2 minutes since there's a goal scored here. What's going on?
To survive the long, harsh winter, Canadians wrap themselves in wool. Huddle together. Keep their hands and feet moving. And at the first sign of fatigue, they seek shelter and rest. Molson Canadian, genuine Canadian beer. What beer's all about.
Welcome back to the NHL tonight. On TSN, the Montreal Canadiens lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2. I'm Jim Houston with Gary Green and John Wells of the Forum in Montreal. Jim Van Horn keeping an eye on the other game as Desjardins shot is stopped by Wendell Young, the new Pittsburgh goaltender. That's the first shot on him. Denny Savard. J.J. Daigneault from the point. To Savard with some room. Shoots. Stopped by Young. Daigneault at center. Eric Desjardins. Here's Brent Gilchrist, number 41, with Savard, the drop pass. Savard couldn't shoot it. Feeds the puck in for Richer. In front by Savard. Now Richer to Gilchrist. Savard trying to get open. Mullen took the man. Now Savard's in after the puck. And he's got it. Mullen bumps with Gilchrist. Gilchrist wins the battle. Richer and Savard in front. The centering pass cleared away over the glass and into the stand.
You know, early on that shift, Jim, it's no wonder that Richer and Savard have difficulties playing with each other. We saw that earlier in this season. They play so much alike. Savard and Richer were both after the puck behind the Pittsburgh Penguins net, and Dennis Savard fought off Richer to get the puck, and then he ended up getting a scoring chance for it, but they just don't seem to complement each other.
Zarli Zalatsky scooped the puck out of the park to stop play. Shots are 24-7 in favor of Pittsburgh. Cullen, Stevens, and Recchi on the ice now for Pittsburgh. say the Penguins had 24 shots, the Canadiens wish. Here's Cullen. Up to Mark Recchi. On the left wing for Kevin Stevens. Lyle Odeline trying to cut him off. Stays with him. Odeline pushed Stevens to the ice and went down with him. Cullen had the puck, though. Coffey and Murphy are playing together on the point. Peter Svoboda carries the puck for the Canadiens. Carbonneau goes for the net. Courtnall's shot just missed. Cullen gets the puck back, tripped over the blue line, and Courtnall comes up with the puck. Carbonneau went down in a collision with Coffey. It's a 3-on-1. Courtnall in front of the net. McPhee has the puck. Carbonneau's in front. The centering pass. And Stevens had Carbonneau tied up. Carbonneau was pushed to the ice. And he gets up, cross-checking at Murphy. Play is still going on. And the puck was thrown ahead by Stevens. And I think Stevens will get a penalty for closing his hand on the puck. Kevin Stevens was a good ball player. And he just scooped up that one hopper and threw it. Stay tuned following the game for the TSN Turning Point, and I'm sure it's still to come in this game, brought to you by National Trust.
There is one major financial institution that listens to your needs, that provides you with the personal service you're entitled to. National Trust. Make us the turning point in your financial future.
Kevin Stevens for delaying the game. Now he closed his hand on the puck. That's the actual call from Andy Van Helleman. Could have been delaying the game. He was camped on the puck, too. Then he picked it up and threw it.
It's actually quite an amusing sequence of plays down in that corner.
Young makes a save on this Canadian power play. And up come the Penguins shorthanded. Barry Peterson used sparingly to Phil Bourque. His shot hit Peterson in front of the net. And J.J. Daigneault has the puck. Daigneault and Schneider, the point men. Stefan LeBeau, Andrew Castles, and Tom Chorsky up front of the power play. Daigneault to the end board. Chorsky on the puck. LeBeau comes over and gets it. Nobody in front for LeBeau. Chorsky's back of the net with it. Daigneault to Castles. LeBeau kicked the puck up, couldn't get it to his stick. And the Penguins clear it. Minutes into the second period, 5-2 Montreal. LeBeau. Castles back to the point to Daigneault. Here's Chorsky now. Castles in front. The back pass for LeBeau. Schneider's open at the left point. LeBeau turns away from Larry Murphy. Now LeBeau to the net. Poke check by Wendell Young. Cleared, not out. Schneider with his shot. Blocked in front of the goal, and Murphy gets the puck and moves it out. Bob Airy carries through center.
Good shot away by Schneider, and he had to shoot it off balance.
Half a minute to go. And the penalty to Kevin Stevens. Matt Schneider back for the puck. Recchi's right on him. On the left wing. Turned back by Stanton, who misfired trying to clear the puck. And he survived, was poke checked by Zali Zalapski. Joe Mullen knocked neatly out of the air by Mark Recchi at center. His shot stopped by Patrick Waugh. And the penalty is over. Stevens is back on the ice. 5-2 Montreal. They've outshot the Penguins 25-8. Shane Corson. Richet's hooked down. There'll be another Pittsburgh penalty. Paul Stanton, I believe, is going off. It's a hooking call. And the Canadiens go to the power play again.
TSN brings you the best in curling coverage. Now we're opening a new chapter. Following one of Canada's favorite winter sports, Vic Rutter hosts Canadian Curling Weekly, keeping you up to date on the latest news from the rinks across the country and around the world. Stay on top of the game with tips from Ray Turnbull and sharpen your strategy with Canada's gold medalist Linda Moore. From hack to house, we've got the sport covered. Watch Canadian Curling Weekly right here on TSN.
Not Stanton, but Stevens to the penalty box again for hooking at 7:29, and the Canadians will get their fourth power play opportunity at 2 for 3 so far.
Here's the hook. Richer going down to the ice.
I had Stanton guilty by association. He was just standing there beside the man who went down.
Also, Savard, Richer, and Corson catch their breath. Go back at this power play all over again.
Desjardins and Svoboda are the point men. Corson moves up and gets the puck, then lost it to Zalapsky, and Zarley shoots the puck the length of the ice. Denny Savard at center. Turn and fell down. Zalapsky moves the puck out to center.
See, with Savard, teams know that he's going to try to make that move.
There, he's centering. And Gillen almost put the puck in. Patrick Law to make a nice save. There's Shane Corson to Denny Savard. Tried to make the move again, and they just forced him to the boards.
They're just playing him high. And it's a smart move when you're playing against Dennis Savard. How many years have we watched him? Gets over the blue, and he puts on the brakes.
The little button hook, and then he starts looking for someone to pass to. Savard. Richer. Desjardins in front of the goal. Now he retreats to the blue line, and the pass went right by Denny Savard down the ice, and he's headed for the bench. 50 seconds to go in the penalty to Kevin Stevens of the Penguins. 8.5 minutes into the second period, 5-2 Montreal. LeBeau to Chorsky. Castles is with them in over the blue line on the Canadian second power play unit. Schneider's shot, kicked out by Young, and I mean kicked way out to Phil Bourque at the blue line. J.J. Daigneault on the point now with Matt Schneider. Chorsky gains the blue line, but Castles was offside. Down to 24 seconds to go in the penalty to Stevens.
Now, some of the problems the Canadians have on their power play is just with their breakout. Take a look at this. Now watch three Canadians, especially Richer, Savard, and Corson. Stop it right there. All three of them fighting for possession of the puck to try to break out of their own end zone. Somehow the Canadians and Savard and Richer especially have got to utilize the open ice far better than they do and look for give and goes with each other. Watch this flash.
And because of it, Peter Svoboda has gone to the Montreal dressing room. Bob Airy hacked Svoboda, and Svoboda went to the dressing room. So 24 seconds left in the penalty to Stevens. LeBeau, Chorsky, and Castles stay out on the power play. Schneider and Donald Dufresne gets a crack at it on the left point. One last rush for the Canadians if they're quick. Stevens is out of the penalty box. The Penguins are back at full strength. Schneider blasted in on Young. Big rebound is cleared.
Good rush by Schneider right down the middle of the ice and a booming shot.
Dufresne off the boards to center. Murphy left the puck at the bench. Vladimir Yager, number 68, hooked from behind. Made a pass. Herdina trying to wrap it around and couldn't. At the side of the goal, Patrick Roy holds on with Phil Bourque right there. Halfway through the second period, 5-2 Montreal.
Patrick Waugh may have trouble staying in this game as far as concentration. He's only had 10 shots. Kind of reminds us, doesn't it, of that Soviet-Norwegian game that was 10-0 for the Soviets after 2 periods of play. And had the Soviets not even put a goaltender in for those 2 periods, they still would have been up 10-8 because the Norwegians only had 8 shots on net after 2 periods. Now that required some concentration. That was some great hockey.
Sure was.
At the World Junior Tournament in Saskatoon.
And it's back to reality for all of those guys on Team Canada now. A lot of them played games last night.
And for us as well, no one waving flags in here tonight.
Canadians win the draw. J.J. Daigneault has the puck. Bork to Yager with Hrdina. Coffey moves up in the play and lost the puck. Bork bailed him out, kept the puck in. Coffey to Yager. Checked by Daigneault. Yuri Hrdina. Yager. Now Phil Bork on the inboards. Hrdina roughing it up with Brian Strudel. Corson tries to chop the puck out and can. Taglianetti and Corson battle for the puck. It comes loose. And Eric Desjardins. Yager traipsed all over it. Hrdina now to the point. Taglianetti's shot is blocked. And finally the Canadians get out of their own zone. And a good shift for Hrdina, Bork, and Yager. And here's Bork again with Mark Recchi off the bench. His back pass went to Brian Strudel. Mike Keane and Shane Corson over the blue line. And Keane overskated the puck. Here's Strudel. Wendell Young hacked the puck to the boards. Got it away from Strudel. And Mark Recchi comes back with Stevens. The drop pass. Cullen's coming late. Stevens with the pass for Cullen behind him.
Good job by Corson on Cullen.
Carbonneau. Stopped by Stanton. And Zalapsky gets the puck out to center. Here's Stevens. Cullen trailing. The drop pass to the slot. Nice play by Russ Cornwell to poke check John Cullen. Here's Carbonneau. McPhee's in front. Carbonneau fan on it. Now he's shot. And it's stopped by Wendell Young. Carbonneau looking for his 3rd of the night. Didn't quite mean the play to end that one.
Well, Carbonneau wasn't so lucky on this play because he fanned on the shot, but he was lucky that the Pittsburgh Penguins did not score, Jim, because the previous part of that shift, Carbonneau got caught up ice trying to look for a goal, and we know that their job tonight was to try and shut down Cullen's line, and Cullen's line ended up with a quick breakout and a 3-on-2 opportunity. Portnoy had to really hustle the back check.
McPhee and Carbonneau have a little laugh about that play that didn't quite work the way the blueprint said it should. Savard, Gilchrist, and Riche out with the Canadian for the Canadians, and they have the puck. Savard behind the net. Randy Gillens on Savard. Riche almost lost the puck to Larry Murphy. Now he turns for the slot. Had the puck swept away. At the blue line, Matthew Schneider. In behind the net, Savard. Gilchrist out front. Trying to get loose. The pass to Riche. Can't shoot it. Larry Murphy knocked the puck away from Stéphane Riche just as he was about to shoot. A 2-line offside pass with 7:43 left in period number 2. The Canadians lead by 3 on the NHL tonight.
TSN presents the world's ultimate driving machine. You'll see coverage of the U.S. Open, British Open, PGA Championship, and year-long excitement from the PGA Tour. There's also the precision of the Lady Linksters and fun from tee to green with those swinging seniors. The PGA's best. Get back to it as the 91 golf season tees off in sunny Tucson, Arizona. The Tucson Open, only on TSN.
Lots of action in the NHL tonight, this week. Thursday night from Chicago Stadium, home of the All-Star game. We'll show you the Blackhawks and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just prior to that game, Dave Manson of the Blackhawks is on Don Cherry's grapevine. 6-2 Montreal on a weird tip in on J.J. Daigneault's shot.
Good night for J.J. Watch this shot. Definitely changed directions on Wendell Young. But did it go off a Pittsburgh stick right there? Or the Canadiens player in front of the net?
I don't think it'll be J.J.'s goal. 6-2 Montreal. Gilchrist gets the goal. He tipped the puck or hit his stick. And Daigneault gets the assist. A 4-goal Montreal lead. Richer gets the second assist. Here's Richer, 44. 2-on-1 with Savard. Coffey's back. Richer shoots it. Young makes the save. Scott Young cleared the puck. Daigneault keeps it in. The assist for J.J. Daigneault is 100th NHL point. Here's Mike McPhee. Poke check. Carbonneau can't put it in. Richer can't put the puck in.
And Wendell Young's just laid on the ice. He really didn't make a great effort to get up quickly.
What a night for the Canadiens. They've outshot the Penguins 31-10.
Wendell Young really committed himself so early, and watch, he just stays down on the ice. He makes no effort to get up. Of course, in a game like this, maybe since he's come in, maybe he should just lay down on the ice. His defense and forwards coming back aren't exactly giving him a lot of help. Maybe that gets the point across. He seemed to lose his balance when he slid across, was flat on his belly, and just stayed there.
Speaking of flat, that's the Penguins tonight.
From a city that's anything but flat.
Matt Schneider poked the puck towards Mike McPhee. Stanton moves up on the play for Pittsburgh. 6 minutes to go, second period. Montreal 6 and Pittsburgh 2. The last scoring play, Gilchrist from Daigneault and Richer at 12:22. Kevin Stevens, checked by Matt Schneider.
Even Stevens is having an off game tonight. He's just not as quick as he usually is.
Carbonneau, McPhee, and Courtnall. Courtnall has the puck. Passes it off to J.J. Daigneault. Stopped by Young. Cullen to Recchi. Pittsburgh to center. They dump the puck in and change.
Pittsburgh really has come out here on a very slow pace. You would have thought they would have been a little better rested than the Canadiens. They played yesterday afternoon.
Here's Russ Courtnall. Run over by Bob Airy. Airy checked by Eric Desjardins. In front of the net. Gillen fanned as he tried to one-time the puck. Tom Chorsky back with Castles and LeBeau. Stéphane LeBeau has a look around. Desjardins sprinting in from the point, now backed up. Taglianetti takes Chorsky down. Larry Murphy takes the puck. Airy at center. Drops the puck off and went right through Joe Mullen's legs. And Murphy just shot it in. 4:20 to play, second period. Here's Chorsky. Drop pass to LeBeau. Nice move. He shoots. Where is it?
I was sure that puck was in.
I thought it was too, but Wendell Young has got it. 4-goal lead for Montreal.
Watch this, folks, for a little bit of communication. Watch Courtnall and J.J. Daigneault. Courtnall just taps Daigneault on the back of his pants, otherwise his butt. Says, hey, give me the puck. Daigneault does exactly that, and Courtnall's got some open ice. Now watch Courtnall go here.
Look out, Russ.
Yo! Ooh, that had to hurt. Airy got away a good hit on Courtnall. Bob Airy also scored in a penalty shot yesterday against New Jersey.
What a different team today. Pittsburgh won 5-2 yesterday. Trails 6-2 today. Puck is on to the Pittsburgh bench. Jaromir Jagr and Shane Corson at close quarters. Jagr, before every game, is getting to know all of the rinks pretty well. He was running the stairs just before the warm-up today. He does that apparently before every game he plays.
Interesting watching the European teams, wasn't it, Jim? In the World Junior Championship, they were out playing soccer in the hallways or doing all of their exercises, but mostly at a little quicker pace than the North American teams usually do it. But you're right, Jagr seems to do that all the time.
Mark Recchi's shot bounces off the end boards. Brian Skrulin scoops the puck in the air to center. 3.5 minutes to play in the second period. The Canadiens with a big 4-goal lead. Keane to Skrulin. Checked by Scott Young. Centering pass for Keane, and that was poked away by Paul Coffey.
I guess Jagr and I have something in common. We both do the stairs before the game, right?
Greener, everybody knows you do the elevators before the game. There's a blast by Stevens wide of the net. Mark Recchi turned the puck over to Skrulin. He was checked. Recchi centering pass. Coffey was moving up. Pass didn't get to him. Scott Young started the game as a right winger. Now he's moved back and is playing defense with Paul Coffey. Here's Cullen with a shot. Raw makes the save. Keane to Skrulin. Shane Corson poke check. Here's Barry Peterson with Joe Mullen. Pass to Mullen. Shot is wide. Scott Young to the front of the net. Desjardins knocked the puck away. Brett Gilchrist. Skrulin is trailing. Now goes to the boards. Mullen's after it. Gilchrist to Richer. Holds up against Mullen. Got away from him to the front of the goal. And the Canadiens couldn't get a shot.
Just one too many moves.
Troy Loney's shot on Patrick Roy is stopped. Minute 45 left in the second period. Zarley Zalapski. And Brent Gilchrist scoops the puck out. Zalapski's back for him. Gilchrist, Savard, and Richer in after the puck again for Montreal. Here's Savard. Held up, lost the puck. Jagr with Herdina. Pass for Zalapski, and Richer poked the puck away just before Zalapski shot it. Bork takes his shot, and Raw made the save. Snyder for Richer, racing down the right wing. Hooked from behind was Richer by Larry Murphy, and Richer's out of gas.
When he got hooked, he just fell down and he stayed down because he was totally pooped.
In the last minute of period number 2, and the Canadiens have a 6-2 lead over Pittsburgh. Gary Herdina, checked by Denny Savard, who's lost his stick. That was Herdina just throwing Savard's stick away.
Right at Larry Murphy, too. Larry wondered what he's ever done to Herdina.
Andy Van Hellemond won't stop the play. Eric Desjardins shoots, missed the net. Bouncing puck. Courtnall just missed putting it in after it bounced off the boards when shot by Desjardins. And they come again.
Desjardins had closed his hand on that puck, too.
Won't be the first time in this game. Siren ends the second period at the Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens have a 6-2 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here's John Wells.
All right, and missing in action tonight, the Penguins super scorers Mark Recchi and John Cullen have yet to hit the scoreboard. The Canadiens are getting some goals from some unlikely heroes. Full value for their lead at this point. Coming up in our second intermission, Stephane Richer, the NHL tonight, as we move to check out the Kings and the Hawks from Chicago and Vantage Point. After 2, this is the NHL Tonight on TSN.
Wednesday, TSN takes you ice level for all the highlights from around the American Hockey League on Ringside. The quest for the Memorial Cup is on. TSN premieres its exciting coverage of junior hockey from the Canadian Hockey League. Then from the juniors to the pros, TSN has all the highlights from around the NHL on Sports Desk. We've got Ringside. Cornwall takes on Belleville, and Sports Desk, Wednesday on TSN.
Thanks, Mom. You know, as parents, we're very concerned about AIDS, and we've discussed it openly in our family. It's a new fact of life. We know AIDS has spread mainly through sexual contact.
Our commitment to each other means we're not at risk. And our kids, well...
We feel our example and some factual information are the best protection we can offer them.
I agree with that.
Learn the new facts of life. Join the attack on AIDS. A message from the Canadian Public Health Association.
What do I need? To win the lottery.
Somebody to pay my bills.
If you're looking for value, come and get it. McDonald's value is our famous Big Mac. Until January 27th, just 99 cents when you order large fries and a medium soft drink. Come on, you deserve it.
No, this bill I can handle. Yeah.
A Big Mac for just 99 cents when you buy large fries and a medium soft drink. You can always count on McDonald's. Always good food, always good value.
This is no toboggan ride. The world's best bobsled teams hurtled on an icy track at speeds of over 100 kilometers an hour. TSN heats up your Saturday night with Winter Speed 91. World bobsled competition from Calgary. Watch it Saturday, 9 Eastern. Real action on TSN.
The Canadiens lead the Penguins 6-2 after 2 at the Forum in Montreal. And Canadiens right winger Stephane Richer joins me now. How do you describe a first period like that one tonight for your team in particular?
Well, we know before the game we really expect a big game for the Penguins tonight. And first of all, was really surprised I don't see Tom Barrasso in the net. Before the game, I had a good meeting about Tom Barrasso. He was a player of the month, so
yeah.
We look a lot of video about him to beat him. And I was surprised I don't see him in the game tonight. And we said we have to play pretty good defensively. Defensively, they have a great offensive team. So as long as those guys like Richie, and Coffey, they don't have that puck really often, I think that's better for us to win the game.
You're coming on of late, scored a goal last night, an assist tonight. How do you describe your season so far? Are you a little disappointed?
Yes, I am. If I have to be honest, like I said before I came in, I think this year I have a really tough season. I asked myself a lot of questions why I can score a lot of goals like I did last year. During the Christmas time, I have 2 days off, and I look at the tape, what I did pretty good on the game last year. So I started getting better the last few games. Every time I have a chance to take a good shot, I try to use my shot a little bit more. And so as long as I'm going to work in hard, I'm going to be positive, I think that will be a big plus for the team.
All right, we wish you continued success, and thanks for joining us here. Stephane Richer of the Montreal Canadiens, who currently lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-2 after 2 at the Forum in Montreal. This is the NHL Tonight on TSN.
wonderful times when friends and family would get together, and as the evening wore on, you'd gather around the piano to sing a few songs? Now, those happy days are back. It's time to gather around the piano with Frank Mills, an all-new album from Capitol Records, 23 all-time favorites.
Hi, I'm Frank Mills. Whenever I get together with friends, I'm always asked to play these wonderful songs. And now I put them in a special album for you. Plus, I've also included my very own songbook with 23 easy-to-play piano arrangements so you can play and sing along.
Frank Mills, Gather Around the Piano on 2 cassettes, $19.95. Compact disc, $24.95. Order now and get Frank Mills' songbook at no extra cost.
And for all you piano players, I've also included my easy-to-play arrangement of my international hit, Music Box Dancer.
Now, here's how to order. To save COD charges, use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-847-3200. Or send check or money order for $19.95 for 2 cassettes or $24.95 for 1 CD. Plus $4 shipping to Frank Mills Sing-Along, P.O. Box 600, Station R, Toronto, Ontario.
Are they tough enough? The future stars of professional hockey make their mark today on TSN. CHL hockey, hard-hitting, wide-open hockey. Everything is on the line, and every game counts on draft day. If you want to be a part of some great beginnings, join us Wednesday night as the Cornwall Royals battle the Belleville Bulls. CHL hockey on TSN, Real TV.
Welcome back to Molson NHL Tonight. Through 2 periods of play, the Canadiens have added 2 more goals, and they now lead the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 6-2 at the Forum in Montreal. One other game underway in the NHL tonight is being played at the Chicago Stadium. Just started, as a matter of fact. The LA Kings in town. Ed Belfour starting in goal for Chicago tonight. It is Daniel Bertium for the Los Angeles Kings. Let's join Sports Channel announcers Pat Foley and Dale Talon. We take you to Chicago Stadium live.
Subsequently iced it.
Now, Peters had some difficulty going to his left. It appeared he just stood there. And Lemieux playing the out wing, cut around him like nothing, and then tried to stuff it. Good save by Bertium. Hudson on the giveaway. Up the middle to Lemieux. Lemieux cuts around Peters and then tries to stuff it. Good save.
Face-off will be to the left of the LA goal. Now Roenick, Larmer, and Goulet hop over the board for Chicago. McIntyre stays on to go for this draw for the Kings. And Gretzky and Kudelski are out there. Here's the draw which McIntyre got in behind the net. Then a centering pass picked off, and it's cleared back into the Chicago zone. Trent Yanni is on it. Yanni put it around to the near side. Nobody's there for the Hawks. Duchesne keeps it in, tries a shot that's blocked by Goulet. Now Gretzky in behind. Gretzky centered one, picked off by Roenick. He couldn't hang on to it. Then Yanni gathers it in. Shot it around the boards. Duchesne kept it in. Then Goulet stole it. Goulet over the king line, moving in, shoots one. Bertium seemed to be a little off balance, but made the pad save. Now into the far corner, Chelio. Bumped by Bob Kudelski. And Larry Robinson takes it away. Then he was crunched in the corner by Roenick. Meanwhile, the Kings able to clear it. Here comes Gretzky in against Yanni. Peels off to buy time, then put it to the late man, Sandstrom, who shoots one. And it's blocked by Larmer nicely. Then Roenick able to pick it up for Chicago. Jeremy Roenick with a nice spinning move to get away from Gretzky. And he cleared it to center where Goulet sends it in. Larry Robinson for the Kings, beating Steve Duchesne. His pass sliding free into the Chicago end, and Troy Murray is back after missing a couple of games with a groin problem. Murray gave it to Gilbert at center. Gilbert puts it into Los Angeles territory. Rob Blake behind the net. Put it to the far corner. Gilbert.
Play continues at the Chicago Stadium. That game just getting underway. It's very early in the first period of play. If there are any goals, you will see them here on Molson NHL Tonight at TSN. Through 2 periods of play at the Forum in Montreal, the Canadiens are leading the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 6-2. The Vantage Point with Jim and Gary's coming up next.
TSN presents the world's ultimate driving machine. you'll see coverage of the U.S. Open, British Open, PGA Championship, and year-long excitement from the PGA Tour. There's also the precision of the Lady Linksters and fun from tee to green with those swinging seniors. The PGA's best. Get back to it as the 91 golf season tees off in sunny Tucson, Arizona. The Tucson Open, only on TSN.
Here's to McCain from the tiny and the small. For McCain Junior Juice is the best taste of all. McCain Junior Juice from Superb Concentrate is just enough juice and deliciously great. So let's have a Junior and drink from the box. Uh-oh, time to split. Here comes the fox.
McCain Junior Juice, the just enough size.
I'm a bird man. Know what I am. I'm a bird man. I'm a bird man. Know what I am. I'm a bird man. And from one bird man to another, this bird's for you.
Saturday, the quest for the Super Bowl is heating up. Catch up on all the highlights from the second round of the playoffs on NFL Prime Time. Canada looks for a gold medal performance in Calgary. TSN has all the highlights of the two-man World Cup bobsled competition. The best from the East battle the best from the West in the U.S. College's annual Japan Bowl. NFL Prime Time, World Cup bobsled from Calgary, and the Japan Bowl, Saturday on TSN.
Tonight's Vantage Point, defensive defenseman, a vanishing breed. NHL general managers are searching for defensive blue liners for their defensive skills, obviously. There are not many around in the NHL today, or on their way up. Defensemen in the Paul Coffey mold are very much in vogue in the NHL today. Here's Jim and Gary.
Are they ever in vogue? You know, a daily topic of conversation at the World Junior Championship just completed was Canada's defense and the lack of a big stay-at-home defenseman. They really didn't have many to choose from when putting together the team. I suppose they can blame Paul Coffey and Ray Bourque for that. It seems to me that the role models for young defensemen in the last 10 years have all been great skaters and scorers.
Take a look at those young juniors, and they someday want to be an all-star in the National Hockey League. So let's take a look at what we assume are going to be the all-star defensemen. Well, we know that Coffey and Bourque already have been selected to the all-star team. No doubt Leach and Hatcher will be added sometime this week. Both very offensive defensemen. Let's go to the other conference, and we'll look at somewhat the same situation. McInnes and Chelios, two very offensive-minded defensemen, have already been added. Housley and Stevens, two very offensive-minded defensemen, will no doubt be added as well.
Okay, so we went looking through the league trying to figure out who the old-time defensemen were, the guys who stay at home and just look after a patch of the ice and don't often foray into the opposition zone. We made a list of 5 in no particular order because we didn't think we could come up with 10. What you should know about these is that other than Jamie McCowan, who turns 30 this year, all the others are already 30 or over. So why aren't there many young defensive defensemen around?
Jim, I think it's pretty simple. Take a look at right now the fact that juniors coming into the National Hockey League, they're thinking about their careers. This is a business, folks, just like it is for ourselves. And when you're thinking about a business, you're thinking about making money. And they pay the offensive-minded defensemen who score a lot of the points and make the all-star team. They're the ones they make all the money. Huey, it's very similar to yours and my situation. You're the offensive type of guy. I'm the defensive type of guy. You make all the money.
And end up spending it all on you at dinner. Is it necessarily bad for the game that there are all these offensive defensemen around?
No, I really don't think so. And if you see what Dick Todd did with the World Junior team, he was criticized halfway through the tournament or in the early part of the tournament for having mostly offensive-minded defensemen. But when it came right down to it, amongst stiff competition, who was it that scored the winning goal for Canada and got them the gold medal? But an offensive-minded defenseman, John Slaney.
It's entertaining for us, but I know the coaches are sure looking for those stay-at-home guys, John.
And to be known as an offensive defenseman in today's NHL is the ticket to riches. The alternative seems to be hardly known at all. This is the NHL Tonight on TSN. We're live from Montreal at the Forum where the Canadiens lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-2 after 2.
I'm Cy Sperling, president of Hair Club for Men. These men called Hair Club's toll-free number requesting our informative booklet about thinning hair. Probably the best call they've ever made. Inside is everything you need to know about hair replacement, including this complete objective bibliography. You'll learn about toupees, weaves, transplants, the misconceptions of minoxidil, as well as Hair Club's non-surgical strand-by-strand method, which adds carefully matched top-quality human hair to your own hair. In no time, you'll have a natural-looking head of hair that lets you lead a worry-free, active lifestyle. No chemicals, no surgery, yet it feels like a part of you. The price is based on your degree of hair loss. And remember, we stand behind it. If you want more facts free and without obligation, you can call this toll-free number for your free booklet. Consultations are free. And by the way, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
The thrills and excitement of NBA basketball are on TSN. Tension from division rivals and top teams on television's best basketball schedule will keep you at the hoop. TSN takes you courtside for action only the NBA provides. The Pistons take their show on the road as they look for some southern hospitality in Charlotte. But the Hornets have something else in mind. Charlotte hosts Detroit Tuesday night, 8 Eastern. It's the NBA on TSN.
Well, we mentioned that L.A. and Chicago was an early start, or just early into the game. 3:49, as a matter of fact. That's Steve Larmer with the puck, gives it to Michel Goulet, who in turn gives it to Jeremy Roenick, and it goes in off Marty McSorley, his 19th of the season for Roenick. It's 1-0. The Blackhawks leading L.A. early, first period. Let's go to Montreal.
Peter Svoboda back on the bench for the Montreal Canadiens after leaving the game when he was slashed by Bob Airy earlier in the second period. And he's back on the bench. Canadiens with a 6-2 lead at the Forum in Montreal in the third period underway. There's an icing call against Pittsburgh. J.J. Daigneault set up a goal by Brent Gilchrist. 12:22 of the second period. Got a goal and an assist tonight.
Well, we told you earlier in this game that J.J. has played very well for Pat Burns as of late, so tonight's game, at least for the first two periods, won't hurt his credentials with Burns much either.
Canadians have been out on the road on a big Western swing. Now they're at home for 5 straight. This is the second game of their homestand. They'll play again Wednesday against the New York Islanders here. And in the month of January, they play 9 home games and only 4 on the road. A great chance to catch up to the Boston Bruins, and they can close to within a point of Boston tonight. Keane and Skrudland to the blue line and no further. Here's Yuri Hrdina, number 38 for Pittsburgh, to Scott Young, who started the game as a forward. Now back on defense. Phil Bourque is hurt.
Svoboda was back alongside of Bourque when Bourque went down. Now remember earlier in this game, Svoboda took a two-hander, but that was from Bob Airy. Let's see whether or not there's any retaliation here. No, it was just the fact that they collided and Bourque went down. They weren't really playing the puck.
Phil Bourque is on all fours now. I wonder if maybe Svoboda's skate caught him. Skate came up in the air. He may have been kicked as he went down.
Let's take a look at it from this angle. You can see that Svoboda's right leg came out. And that is probably what injured Phil Bourque.
And locked knees. Maybe Charlie Horse. We have an update on that game between the Chicago Blackhawks and the LA Kings. Here's Jim Van Horn.
Quick start to this one at the Chicago Stadium. 5:02 of the first period. This is all the work done by Steve Duchesne from the blue line in. And he does gets to the face-off circle, lets a quick shot go that Ed Belfour really wasn't ready for. Goes through his legs, his 11th of the season. Ties the game at 1. 5 minutes into the first period. Lots of action in Chicago, Jimmy.
What do you think Ed Belfour's chances of being in the All-Star game are?
Slim to none, even though he has had an outstanding first half of the season. John Muckler is the head coach, and you know that he's got to go with his goaltender, Billy Ranford.
Who's not a bad choice.
Not when you remember back to the Stanley Cup playoffs last year, and also the way that Ranford played without Messier.
Russ Courtnall, backhander that's stopped by Wendell Young, and Courtnall's made some nice moves. It's that kind of game. All offense. Here's Carbonell with his shot. Off the skate of John Cullen. Young, sensing the defensemen are having trouble clearing it, tried to do it himself. Here's Carbonell to Courtnall. Drop pass from McPhee, taken away by Bob Airy. Up to Cullen. Cullen, Recchi, and Airy playing together. Kevin Stevens has been taken off the auction line. He hasn't been having a particularly good night.
He's been very slow.
J.J. Daigneault out to Mike McPhee. Line mates are on a change, so McPhee flips the puck in. Denny Savard gives chase. Larry Murphy gets to the puck first. Now Stevens is out on the ice, playing with Peterson and Joe Mullen. Here's Richer. Gilchrist faked the shot, went to the middle. He was checked. Almost got the puck back. Buried Peterson. The pass is too far for Kevin Stevens. Matt Schneider back in his own zone. Off the boards, Peterson centering pass. Gilchrist comes up with the puck. Early in the third period, and it's Montreal 6 and Pittsburgh 2.
I thought Pittsburgh would come out here with 5 men flying, just dump and chase, go right after it. They're laying back.
Andrew Castles. Shot wide by Savard as Castles set him up from a sharp angle. Jaromir Jagr, number 68 for the Pens, through the middle with Herdina. Jari Herdina, number 38, with a shot off the side of the goal after Waugh made a save. Lyle Odeline, Tom Chorsky, and out come the Canadians. Stéphane Lebeau with Castles. Castles' pass hit his skates. Svoboda turns back.
Last night, the Montreal Canadiens in the third period held Quebec to just 4 shots.
Peter Svoboda. Odeline to Stéphane Lebeau. Korsky. Checked by Phil Bourque, who's up and at him, back in the game after being hurt. Castles almost intercepted a clearing pass. Here's Paul Coffey, takes the shot. Waugh made the save.
It was a bad clearing pass, though, by Jari Herdina in his own end zone. Coughed it up right in the slot.
Line. Become the Canadiens' tough guy, their penalty minute leader, with Todd Ewan out of action.
You can bet that Pat Burns had a lot to say between periods about defending this whopper of a lead, 6-2.
We're almost 4 minutes into the third period, and the Canadiens have a 4-goal lead. National Hockey League's All-Star Weekend is coming up at the stadium in Chicago. Friday, January the 18th. The Heroes of Hockey and the skills competition that was so popular last year. A few refinements, but the fastest skating of the hardest shot again. And the All-Star game is a noon game, 12:30 Eastern time on Saturday.
And is there a better or more exciting building any place in the league for an All-Star game to happen than the Chicago Stadium? That place will be rocking.
That'll be great. John Cullen should be there. Second leading scorer in the NHL. A 4-goal deficit isn't that much for a team like Pittsburgh that can fill the net in a hurry, but they haven't come out and really tried to pour it on, as you pointed out, in this third period at all.
Absolutely not.
Here's Guy Carbonneau, still looking for his third, and he's had great chances to get it.
He was high in the slot, and he just dumped it in the corner. You know what they're thinking. Defend. Carbonneau's not a selfish player. He won't be taking many chances, I don't think, to get his hat trick.
Troy Loney with a shot after Daniel copped up the puck. Recchi went towards the net, couldn't get a shot away. McPhee, here, not out. Stanton kept the puck in. Now McPhee gets the puck to Russ Courtnall. 3-on-2 through center. Now Recchi's getting back. The drop pass from Courtnall. Stanton poked it to center. Troy Loney to John Cullen. Looking around, turns to get away from Schneider and was knocked down and coughed up the puck. Mike Keane with a shot. Wendell Young made the save. Keane, Corson, and Skrudland out on the ice. Shane Corson tried the wraparound, hit the side of the goal. Cullen sends the puck down the ice. A race for it. Schneider and Stevens. Stevens got to the puck, no icing. Stevens has the puck and centers it. Here's Coffey. Tried to pass it off to the side of the net. Mullen couldn't put it in. Murphy, his shot was wide. Coffey's shot is wide. Murphy on the right side. Stevens to Joe Mullen. Kevin Stevens centering pass. Hit the skates of Brian Skrudland. Here's Mike Keane to Shane Corson. Skrudland coming hard to get into the play. Corson. For Keane, whose stick was being held by Larry Murphy. Just over 6 minutes into the third, 6-2 Montreal. Lyle on the line to Peter Svoboda. And back. Svoboda goes by Herdina over the blue line to Stéphane Richer. Bob Airy breaks up the play. Airy and Svoboda having words for each other. Svoboda took a little bit of a shot at Airy, who slashed Svoboda in the second period. Here's Richer to Gilchrist, trying to go to the net. Stopped by Scott Young. And Richer has the puck in the corner. To the point. Desjardins shoots off the base of the post. Gilchrist might have tipped that. Savard shoots. Young the save. The rebound is taken by Scott Young. And he dumps the puck down the ice.
Desjardins can really shoot that puck from the point. He's got off a few good hard ones in his game tonight.
Here's Stéphane Richer. Shoots. Young got a piece of that. Desjardins. J.J. Daigneault. Dumped the puck to center. Shots are 37-16 Montreal. Taglianetti dumps the puck in. Desjardins back with Loney on him. Desjardins gone down. Here's Loney trying to stuff the puck in and can't against Patrick Roy. Courtnall and Coffey meet on the boards. Courtnall poked the puck by Coffey. 2-on-1 with Mike McPhee. Taglianetti broke up the play nicely.
Taglianetti just stick check. He cut down that pass, anticipated it.
Kevin Stevens, number 25. Out of Boston University, gave the puck to Courtnall. Poke check by Wendell Young.
Stevens is having an even tougher night.
Here's Carbonneau, took the puck from Coffey to Courtnall. Stopped by Young. Coffey's having a tough time now, too.
I think the Penguins lost their focus when they dropped the puck tonight.
Stevens centering pass. Mullen couldn't tip it. Carbonneau to Tom Chorsky. Outside on Zalapski. Zalapski steers his man to the boards, and the puck came to Barry Peterson. Larry Murphy, number 55. Zalapski holds on and shoots. Waugh makes the save. Juggles the puck. They score. The puck came loose. I don't know how it was directed into the net, but Patrick Waugh juggled the Zalapski shot, and the Penguins have their third goal.
It came loose, though, from Stevens crashing in to Patrick Waugh. Watch. He had it. Stevens was in the crease, and his stick or Mullen's stick, which one was it, just pushed that puck into the net.
Mullen gets the goal, I believe, as the puck drops down, and all he has to do is tap it in. Joe Mullen's 17th of the year at 9:05, the third Pittsburgh goal. I wonder if that'll bring some life to the Penguins now. They trail by 3 with 11 minutes to go. For a team that can score in bunches the way they can, they're still in the game.
Pittsburgh's goal is 17th of the season, scored by number 7, Joe Mullen. Avec that will come to us. This is by number 33, Zalapsky.
Zalapsky gets 1 assist, and Larry Murphy gets the other. On Mullen's 17th at 9:05. Herdina knocked Desjardins down. Chorsky took a run at Herdina. Zalapsky went down as Daigneault took a run at him. And now the Canadiens want to get a Yuri Herdina for knocking down Eric Desjardins in front of the net. And all of a sudden, a very passive game has all of the players running at each other. Bob Airy trying to get at Desjardins now, defending Herdina.
Herdina got poked in the face a couple of times. He's not about to drop his gloves and attack, though. But I think that he was, in all fairness, the instigator.
10:24 left in the third period. The Penguins have scored to close the gap to 3 in the NHL tonight.
Wednesday, TSN takes you ice level for all the highlights from around the American Hockey League on Rinkside. The quest for the Memorial Cup is on. TSN premieres his exciting coverage of junior hockey from the Canadian Hockey League. Then from the juniors to the pros, TSN has all the highlights from around the NHL on Sports Desk. We've got Rinkside. Cornwall takes on Belleville, and Sports Desk, Wednesday on TSN.
J.J. Daigneault has taken a 2-minute high sticking penalty. His high stick was on Zarli Zalapsky. This is the retaliation. Desjardins on Herdina.
Chorsky went right after him. After Desjardins got dumped, there is the penalty. J.J. Daigneault.
Now a Pittsburgh power play. A goal here, they can close the gap to 2. Lots of firepower, and there's lots of time. Zalapsky and Young are the point men on this power play.
Mullen in his favorite position, way up at the Canadiens' blue line.
Recchi and Stevens are with him. Mark Recchi has the puck. Takes the shot. Didn't miss by much. Then it grazed the post. We're halfway through the third period. And the Penguins are trying to mount a comeback. Zarli Zalapsky to Kevin Stevens. Passes the puck off for Joe Mullen. Gets it back as it hit a stick. Stevens to Mullen. Recchi's out front. The pass comes back to Scott Young. Backhands it into Mullen. Stevens behind the net to Recchi. Now the pass to Zarli Zalapsky. Takes the shot. Blocked by Carbonneau. Recchi gets the puck to the front of the net. That was blocked by Dufresne. Here's Zalapsky now. Recchi's shot deflected in front. Hacked at by Dufresne, not out. Zalapsky keeps the puck in on the Penguin power play. Mark Recchi. Shot towards the net by Scott Young and cleared by the Canadiens. .40 seconds to go in the penalty. And the Canadiens' Matt Schneider gets the puck down the ice.
Guy Carbonneau must wear extra padding around his stomach because he took one heck of a hard shot and he went down to block. Got right back up very quickly.
Here's Herdina out on the power play now. The drop pass to Jagr. Cullen's with them. Coffey and Murphy back at the point. Cullen to Murphy. Over to Coffey. Lost control of the puck. The penalty's almost over as the puck bounces in behind the net. Jagr tried to go for the net and take a shot and couldn't get there. Daigneault's out of the penalty box. Jagr for Cullen coming back through the neutral zone. Makes a move on Skrudlin over the blue line with Coffey leading the way. Desjardins for Skrudlin, and the Canadiens come out of their own zone, leading 6-3 down to 8 minutes to go.
See a lot of sopranos here in Montreal. Very high whistling. In fact, I wish they'd knock it off.
Sounds like a scene from The Birds. 7:39 to go in the third. I'm not just whistling Dixie either.
You know my idea of boring? Pizza crust tastes like cardboard. So when McCain made this new crust for deep and delicious, I wanted to tell my sister and my dad. Because McCain has a tastier, crispier crust so you can really get your teeth into. It's shortcut on at our house.
McCain Deep and Delicious Pizza with a tastier, crispier crust.
After all, shouldn't pizza be fun?
You're watching Molson's NHL tonight from the Forum in Montreal. It's the Montreal Canadiens 6 and the Pittsburgh Penguins 3. I'm Jim Houston along with Gary Green in the broadcast booth. And we'll show you the Boston Bruins and the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow night from Boston Garden at 7:30 Eastern Time. Later in the week on Thursday, Chicago and Toronto from Chicago Stadium. Hit the great old hockey rinks this week. Barry Peterson for Pittsburgh. To Kevin Stevens, the pass was in front of him. Dufresne ran interference so that Schneider could move the puck. Stepan Richer blasts the shot. Wendell Young kicks it all the way out to center ice. Paul Stanton moves up. Schneider. Round of the boards for Shane Corson. Coffey back in his own zone. Under 7 minutes to play in the third period. Montreal's lead is 6-3. Scott Young. Centering pass. Cullen got a weak shot away and went to the corner. Mike McPhee with Guy Carbonneau. Daniel comes up late in the play. Carbonneau's shot. Nice save by Young. Carbonneau's looking for the hat-trick goal. Coffey scoops the puck off the glass. Courtnall's pass for McPhee intercepted. Cullen with Recchi and Loney. Scott Young, number 34, for Coffey into his skates. Russ Courtnall trying to break away, holds up, shoots. Young made the save. McPhee. That's the puck in the boards. Loney cleared it, hit Paul Coffey.
Pittsburgh really haven't been able to control Courtnall's quickness all night long.
Gary Herdina. Yeager goes for the net. Yager, that great reach, trying to go for the front of the goal, and McPhee took the puck away from him. Kept in at the line by Murphy. Bob Aries' backhander is blocked. Aries' centering pass. Herdina in front, couldn't shoot it. It tangled up with Zalapsky, and Courtnall cleared the puck.
You know, Courtnall's done a great job back-checking in tonight's game. He has been thinking offensively at the right time.
Murphy for Herdina, and he couldn't get a shot away. Stefan Lebeau got the puck out to center. Chorsky chases after it. Zalapsky steers him to the inboards. Jaromir Jagr gets the puck. Up to Bob Aries. Zalapsky still got his man Chorsky pinned to the boards back in the other end as Murphy moves in. Jagr behind the net. Murphy's shot blocked. And a bouncing puck got by Larry Murphy at the point. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period. 6-3 Canadiens.
This is a pretty tough team to try and score against to get back into the game. They got one, but as soon as that happened, and you could see the Canadiens start getting into their defensive shell, making perfect passes, and running out the clock.
Shane Corson in on the left wing. Stanton has him lined up. The drop pass. And Skrulin had to go back for it. Couldn't come up with it. Mike Keane. Pass missed Skrulin and Corson. Corson in on Peter Taglianetti. Mullen around on the boards. Desjardins pinches in. Centering pass. Hellman, a nice save. Skrulin tipped the puck in front. Here's Keane now to Skrulin. Couldn't get the shot away. Stanton takes Skrulin. Corson in after the puck. Cleared by Joe Mullen. Up to Barry Peterson. And his pass was behind Kevin Stevens. 3:20 to play, third period. Joe Mullen moves in with Peterson. The drop pass. Skrulin was there to pick it up for Montreal. Scott Young to Troy Loney. Daniel bumps Loney and Desjardins gets the puck. By Recchi, couldn't get all the way by him. Here's Recchi with a shot. Wow, makes the save. Cullen. Now the whistle goes and Loney and Daniel exchange punches. In comes Desjardins.
Desjardins moved in there quickly to help out, but at the same time, I think Desjardins was thinking that he was already maybe in a little bit of trouble for trying to come out of his own zone and stick handle through too many Pittsburgh players, with the Canadiens up comfortably 3 goals.
I think there'll be penalties to Loney and Daniel for the pushing and shoving in front of the net. Now Coffey and Skrulin. Skrulin has dropped his gloves and wants to go at Paul Coffey.
Coffey's got Skrulin into a pretty good headlock. And now we've got Cullen and Corson.
Cullen and Corson have broken up. And now Gerard Gauthier has a hold of Coffey, pulls him away from Skrulin. Loney and Daniel are already in the penalty box. Now they're joined by Skrulin and Coffey. .252 left in the third period. Back to the Forum after this.
TSN brings you the best in curling coverage. Now we're opening a new chapter. Following one of Canada's favorite winter sports, Vic Rutter hosts Canadian Curling Weekly, keeping you up to date on the latest news from the rinks across the country and around the world. Stay on top of the game with tips from Ray Turnbull and sharpen your strategy with Canada's gold medalist Linda Moore. From Hack to House, we've got the sport covered. Watch Canadian Curling Weekly right here on TSN.
Pat Burns has lost Skrulin and Daniel for the rest of this game, likely, and Bob Johnson will be without Coffey and Loney. And Pat's just wishing they'd leave the clock run while they sort all of this out.
I think Pat Burns has seen a little bit of everything tonight, hasn't he? He's seen his team score 4 goals in the first period. That's a little unexpected. He has also seen Pittsburgh coming out and playing a rather flat game for the majority of it. There's the shot by Loney, Desjardins in the head. And we've also seen Paul Coffey in a fight, which we wouldn't have expected to see coming in this game. It's been a weird night.
The Canadiens have racked up 41 shots on goal against 22 for Pittsburgh.
Au numéro 77, Paul Coffey, 5 minutes pour s'être battu. Au Canadien, le numéro 48, Jean-Jacques Daigneault, 2 minutes pour Rudess. Au numéro 39, Brian Skrulin, 5 minutes pour s'être battu. À 17 minutes, 8 secondes. The penalties to Pittsburgh.
As you would have expected, Coffey and Skrulin 5 for fighting. Daniel and Loney 2 minutes for roughing.
Numéro 24, Troy Loney, 2 minutes pour Rudess. Et le numéro 77, Paul Coffey, 5 minutes pour s'être battu.
The Penguins had a chance to start climbing back into this. Couldn't score in a mid-third period power play, and now the Canadiens are just playing this one out. Montreal will close to within a point of the Boston Bruins. Penguins sit in third spot in the Patrick division, even with New Jersey. Just one back of Philly. Had a chance tonight to move into second spot. They'll go home and face Edmonton and Calgary later this week.
We've seen the exceptional speed of Courtnall a lot out there tonight.
Here's Courtnall with a long blast. He's got a good shot, too, and that one was stopped by Wendell Young.
He and LeBeau are the fastest players on this Canadian team, and lately they ended up in a race against each other at practice. 2 laps around the rink, and LeBeau had him in the last lap, and Courtnall all of a sudden took off and beat him cleanly. A little razzing to the young kid.
Back with the last minute and a half in a moment.
Duracell, the one that lasts.
Catch the fire on Molson for the NHL tonight. The Jets will have to play it physical as they touch down in the Garden to battle the Bruins. It's Fire on Ice. Boston and Winnipeg live Monday night, 7:30 Eastern. The NHL tonight on TSN.
And play is just underway with 1:25 to go in the game. Peter Svoboda for Mike Keane, and out come the Canadiens. Pass for Corson was knocked down by Larry Murphy. Mark Recchi, number 8. Cuts to the middle and passed off to the boards to John Cullen. Stevens is there as well, but Svoboda has the puck. Taglianetti kept the puck into the blue line. Bounces to the front of the net. Brent Gilchrist takes over in the last minute of the game. Keane checked by Taglianetti. Cullen gets the puck. On the boards for Mark Recchi. Larry Murphy. Cullen dumps the puck in. He made a little move at the blue line and put his left winger Stevens offside. 31 seconds left in the game.
Pat Burns will have to be pretty pleased with the discipline the Canadiens have shown. And Bob Johnson will be upset tonight that his big line wasn't more effective in the early going of the game.
Really, it's hard to think of anybody on the Penguins who's had a good night at all. Bob Airey, maybe. It's been a team effort, this 6-3 loss by the Penguins.
Well, it was a tough night for Frank Pietrangelo, but many a goalie in this league have had some tough nights in the Montreal Forum.
Icing call with 19 seconds left. Pietrangelo made his debut here. He was outstanding in his first game in the NHL and did a pretty good record against Montreal. So they gave him the start tonight, and he gave up 5 of the 6 goals.
Zarley Zalapski with a new contract this past summer. And Bob Johnson trying to build a defense that has got great offensive capabilities, but he knows that with every offensive defenseman, he needs a defensive defenseman. And there, as we talked about, Jim, are a shortage of them.
Has sounded to end the game, and the Montreal Canadiens have won their 3rd in a row with a 6-3 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pretty easy night for Patrick Waugh. And as he came back from an injury last night, he really complimented his team for playing so well in front of him. Tonight, he will have to do the same.
Final score from the Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens 6 and the Penguins 3. We'll be back with our Molson Cup 3-star selection in a moment.
TSN is ringside at the Trump Taj Mahal for 3 action-packed bouts at the Night of the Heavyweights. Round one, the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon takes on Jose Revolta. Round two, Tommy the Duke Morrison meets James Quick Tillis. And the headliners, Olympic gold medalist Ray Mercer goes after Francesco Damiani's WBO heavyweight title. The Night of the Heavyweights, live Friday, 10:30 Eastern, right here on TSN.
Well, you can feel it in your heart. Gonna reach a little higher. Gonna show them that you got the fire. Always gonna be there. Yeah. Well, there's nothing halfway about it. X says it all.
Monday, TSN takes you ice level for all the exciting action from around the National Hockey League on the Hockey News. Stay tuned for live NHL action as the Jets head to Boston to take on the Bruins. Then TSN has all the hard-hitting action from the world of sports on Sports Desk's Plays of the Week. The Hockey News, the Jets and the Bruins, and the Plays of the Week. Monday on TSN.
The Molson Cup 3 stars at the Forum tonight. First star, Canadian captain Guy Carbonneau with 2 goals this evening. The second star, Montreal defenseman J.J. Daigneault, first of the season, plus 1 assist. And the third star, Speedy Russ Courtnall, who gets 2 assists and is the game's third star tonight. And here again, our stars at the Forum, fittingly all Canadians. Guy Carbonneau, J.J. Daigneault, and Russ Courtnall. With more on the NHL tonight, Jim Van Horn.
Thank you, John. Welcome back to our TSN Control Center, everyone. There's only one other game being played in the NHL tonight. The first period is over at the stadium in Chicago, where the Blackhawks are playing host to the Los Angeles Kings. It got off to a very quick start as Steve Larmer along the boards gives the puck to Michel Goulet, who in turn feeds Jeremy Roenick. He has the wide open net, but he almost misses it. It goes in off Marty McSorley. That's his 19th of the season to make it 1-0. But less than 2 minutes later, Steve Duchesne does it all alone. A quick shot fools Ed Belfour under the arm to the far side, his 11th of the season, makes it a 1-all game, and that is where they stand now in the first intermission. Chicago, of course, first in the Norris, first overall with a record of 28-13-3. The LA Kings second in the Smythe, 4 back at Calgary, but they do have 2 games in hand. One exhibition game to tell you about that was played this afternoon at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. The Soviet Red Army, a 4-2 loser to the Edmonton Oilers. It's the first loss on this North American tour for Red Army. They're 4-1. Vladimir Malikov and Ilya Byakin scored for the Soviets. Glenn Anderson, Joe Murphy, Craig Simpson, and Kevin Lowe replied for the Oilers in a winning cause this afternoon. It was 6-2 Montreal over the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Forum in Montreal. More from Molson NHL tonight. Our hockey coverage continues.
Montreal's fourth goal of the first, that made it 4-2. And really, for the Penguins, it was all over in the first. They lose it 6-3. A cash donation to the Coaching Association of Canada for training and development of coaches in amateur sport will be made on behalf of TSN and National Trust. Our business is financial service. A great power display by the Habs tonight. Here's Jim Houston.
It wasn't a great game. It had its amusing moments, and Bob Johnson is a very positive guy, will be positively baffled about his team's performance tonight. They've been pretty consistent, having won 10 of their last 13 and snapped.
Today on Sports Desk, a case of who's checking whom as Guy Carbonneau and the Habs face the Penguins. The NFL playoffs, the road to Super Bowl 25 now less crowded. And Edmonton's Scotty Olsen goes up against Jose Manuel Diaz.
Sports Desk with Chris Sedens and Gino Rutta.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sports Desk. Plenty of news to come up your way the next half hour. Let's get right to it. We'll start with two games in the NHL, including the Penguins against the Canadiens at the Montreal Forum. Gene?
And, Chris, the Canadiens haven't given up a goal in 1991. 2 games, 2 shutouts. The second was thanks to Patrick Roy in his first game back since missing almost a month with a knee injury. But keeping Pittsburgh off the scoreboard, nearly impossible. The Pens are by far the highest scoring team in the entire NHL. Guy Carbonneau's line get the responsibility for shutting down the option line on the night. Habs open the scoring on the power play. J.J. Daniel hasn't scored yet, does right there. Beats Frank Pietrangelo, and it's 1-0 Montreal's first goal of the year. A few minutes later, Montreal on the power play. Phil Bourque picks off the pass. Matthew Snyder does a good job defensively to ride him off the puck, but Bourque centers the puck. Sky Young puts it in, ties the game 1-1. Then, just 20 seconds later, Montreal makes amends for the error. Daniel to Chorsky. Chorsky, with a great pass to Stéphane Lebeau, gets his 14th goal of the year, makes it 2-1 for the Habs. Still in the first period of play now, Russ Courtnall drops it for Eric Desjardins. The blast, it's good, 3-1 Habs. Still in the first period of play, Montreal leading 3-2. Courtnall steals the puck, feeds Carbonneau for his 7th, and it's 4-2 Montreal. Finally, the first period's over, but just 11 seconds into the second period, Carbonneau steps in over the line, snaps a shot that beats Pietrangelo, second of the game, 5-2 Habs, and that's 5 too many for Pietrangelo. He's gone, got the hook. Montreal got the victory, 6-3 the final score. Recapping the goal scorers for you again. It was Young, Bourque, and Mullen for Pittsburgh. For Montreal, it was Daniel with his first of the season, Carbonneau with a pair, Desjardins, Lebeau, and Gilchrist round up scoring for Montreal.
Well, at times like this, the Los Angeles Kings have to be thankful they've got the luxury of a private jet. The Kings have hit the roughest part of their schedule, 11 games in 19 days, including road trips across North America twice. Today they flew from Chicago rather